years after defeating the Joker, Batman is once again called upon when Gotham is terrorized by the Red Triangle Gang, led by the hideous Penguin and aided by crooked businessman Max Schreck. Femme fatale Catwoman also joins the picture and stirs the pot both in and out of costume. Welcome back to another feature presentation of Midnight Double Feature, and on this episode we'll be covering 1992's Batman Returns, directed by Tim Burton. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Midnight Double Feature. As you guys heard, we're going to be talking about Batman Returns on this episode. Zoheb, how you doing?
I'm good, dude. How you doing, man? 'Tis the season. Merry Christmas.
I know, right?
Or as Mike Tyson likes to say, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to all, and to all, good night. But yeah, dude, I'm doing well. I am very stoked. Dare I steal your word? Very keen to talk about Batman. To talk about Batman Returns. You picked Die Hard as like one of your Christmas favorites. I'm not going to say that this isn't one of my Christmas favorites. It's, if I had to pick a Christmas movie, it's going to be one that I pick. It's not one that like, oh, every Christmas I got to watch Batman Returns. I'm not like that. I'm not like that dedicated to it. But
I thought you picked this because this is a 90s movie, which is what you do.
Yeah, right, exactly.
It's such a Colin move.
Yeah. Hey, what year did it come out? Oh, around 2012. Next.
No.
But no, I'm super excited to talk about it. This was a movie that I mean, we had this on VHS when I was a kid. We had this, and like I said before, Monster Squad and Teen Wolf was another one. We had a lot of VHSs, but we only kept about 10 or 12 of them in repeat. And this was one of them. I can remember the case and looking at it, the way their heads are stacked on the cover of it is so fucking cool. It's so awesome looking. And just that cold feeling that this movie kind of gave off. Obviously it's a wintertime setting and the penguins in the Arctic Zoo and all that stuff. But this movie has, it changed the way that I watched movies, like as a kid. Like it really got into my head. Like there's a lot of stuff because this movie came out about a week after I turned 2 years old. It's like June something of 92. So I remember, like I said, watching this on VHS and just so much stuff about it, like, blew my mind, but it fucking just disturbed me at the same time. Like it really did as a little kid. Way more so stuff from DeVito. It's not really Christopher Walken that creeps me out. It's really fucking Danny DeVito, because holy shit, he is just terrifying in this movie. Because I mean, just him eating the raw fish, or when he bites that guy in the face, I was like, what the fuck? So I struggle to think of something like this that I've seen before that reminds me of fucking Batman Returns, unless it's something that Tim Burton made. But this had a huge impact on my childhood. This was my Batman, except for Kevin Conroy in the animated series. This definitely was like my Batman movie of choice. I know a lot of people would fucking literally cut me from ear to ear and put me on a pole and run me out of town for saying that. But this is like one of my definitive. I tell you what, I'm gonna fucking throw a proclamation out. You hearing me? You hear me? You there? You fucking hear me on this?
Go. I nearly fell asleep, but go.
Yeah. There was not a better Batman movie to me until not even Batman Begins. Dark Knight. Dark Knight was the only thing that like toppled Batman Returns for me, because it was, I mean, it's just inarguably a better film. There's no way you can argue that.
I think a lot of people will agree with you there, though. I mean, like Batman Begins isn't for everyone. Like it's still got, I mean, like as grounded as it is, it's still got a few kind of like silly elements, like the microwave emitter. Like that's a bit out there. But I mean, like after this, dude, you have Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Like
right.
There is no fucking way those two movies are going to topple this.
Right, exactly. And like, so many people prefer the the original 89 Nicholson Batman, and I get that. My brother Adam and I always have this debate because he's such a big fan of the original one, and I'm like, nah, dude, Batman Returns. And dude, I can see him throwing his arms up and just be like, no, and he always makes fun of Christopher Walken's character and shit, which, I mean, it's an easy movie to poke fun of, and it is kind of convoluted. It has a really heavy plot, and it's not hard to follow sometimes, but man, is it hard as you always hear in screenwriting, give me your pitch, give me your pitch for a movie. This would be really hard to pitch. Do you think?
Totally, dude. Like, you were talking like a little behind the scenes thing. Like, you were talking about how you were going to sort of like structure and word our intro for this episode, like before, our little music theme intro, whatever the fuck we do. And like, it didn't really occur to me how kind of difficult to put into words this movie is. Like, it's very, I'll get into it in my thoughts, but I think that informs my opinion of this movie very highly. And it was very subconscious. Like the whole, it's tough to kind of get a handle on what this movie is.
Right, yeah, it's it's like a three-headed beast. You've got a lot of different stuff going on, for better or for worse, but really, I love this movie. Please, if Warner Brothers and DC Entertainment, if you were listening to me, please at some point make this Gotham from this movie playable in Arkham Knight. Please, dude, please do that. Like, dude, I'll give you all the monies right now. Shut up and take my money. I will give you so much money right now if you give me the Keaton suit, the original Batmobile, and this Gotham in wintertime running around and fighting people. Like, holy shit, I'm a huge Arkham Knight fan. I love that game. I mean, who doesn't love Grand Theft Auto Batman, basically? Isn't the Keaton suit available in Arkham City? Did you ever play Arkham City? Yeah, and it is available in Arkham Knight. You can get them, but that's the only thing. You can get the Batmobiles, but you can only use them in races. And I was like, dude, come on, man. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. But I mean, the Batmobile in Arkham Knight is just so overpowered and does so much crazy shit. It would be hard. It's a tank. Yeah. Right, yeah, it would be hard to pull that off with like fucking Val Kilmer's Batmobile. But either way, I just I adore this movie for better or for worse. It's one of those movies that, as I grow up and I watch it, there's still not a whole lot of things that I'm like, dude, this is just awful. This is just terrible. Maybe plot wise, there's a couple things that can be cut out. I think you can tell that this script has a lot of other people's fingerprints on it. It has a lot of people. It was very much so like a Frankenstein's monster of one script was written and they held over elements from that, and then that script got scrapped, and then they held over elements from that, which they did a lot. This went on to like 3 or 4 different people, and really interesting just how this movie got made. Actually, Hey, Do You Remember has a brilliant episode about this where Thank you, dude. I was about to say it because there is. I mean, we name drop them all the time. Hey, Do You Remember and LSG both. I guarantee you guys, before we jump into this episode, they did this better than we did, dude. Well, I mean, it's also you go into to Chris and Hey, Do You Remember, and their love for Batman.
Chris lives and breathes Batman.
Right, exactly. Which, hey, there's nothing wrong with that, dude. I'm fucking staring at a Batman poster right now on my walls. But I mean, the guy has just such a passion for it, and it comes across in the episode. So please, guys, if you're listening to this, turn it off and go listen to. No, I'm just kidding. But no, go out and check out Hey, Do You Remember's coverage of Batman and Batman Returns. And, I just listened to the Batman and Robin episode the other day because it was around Thanksgiving time, and that episode is fucking hilarious.
Also Chris's episode, The Road to Gotham, is easily one of the most powerful episodes of podcasting you'll hear ever. It's he did such a great job with that episode, and all of Hey, Do You Remember did a great job with that episode. Yeah, it's fucking great. But yeah, there's a lot of awesome stuff behind the scenes that how this movie got made, and the literally at one point Warner Brothers backlot, 50% of it was taken up with this set. Just this set alone took up 50% of their backlot. I'm like, holy shit! Like, that is I mean, god damn, that has to be one big ass set, dude. They said Michelle Pfeiffer would get lost on the way to work.
because the fucking set was so big. But either way, you know, I'm super excited to get into it. You know, Danny DeVito, you know, and Christopher Walken and all. I mean,
Marbles.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. God, dude, his speech patterns in this just bewilder me.
They're crazy.
But yeah, Danny DeVito, Michelle Pfeiffer, Michael Keaton, so many great names to get into, and yeah, and we'll definitely get there once I shut up and let Zoheb go ahead and take his turn. Why don't you give us your opening thoughts?
I actually got a lot to talk about this movie, so I'm really glad you chose this. But here's the thing: this remains to date my least seen Batman movie ever. Yeah, and I don't know why. It's just something that happened when I was growing up. Like, I love the Batman '89. Like, I mean, come on, how could you not? If it's not Keaton in that movie, it's Nicholson. Like, he will get you. Right. But then, dude, like, for some reason, I never owned this movie. This was the Batman movies I never owned. I'd always rented them or I'd taped them, but I think it was always a rental. I wasn't really one of those kids growing up that just was like, Dad, can you buy this VHS for me? Like, it was honestly just like a renting thing. Like, we used to rent all the fucking time, go down to the old Blockbuster or Video Easy and just rent shit. And this was one of the ones that was always rented out. And I remember once like finally getting my hands on it. And I remember the drive back and just kind of like marveling at the VHS case. And like, I looked at the runtime and it was like 125 minutes. And I was like, whoa, this is a long movie.
Yeah.
And then like, I kind of like did the math like when I was a kid, like really young. And I was like, oh, it's only 2 hours. Yeah, whatever. But dude, this movie is awesome. In my mind, I was a little hesitant to watch it again, only because when I was younger, I didn't really connect with the Penguin. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's just like he looks goofy.
You can't connect with a 30-year-old fish mutant who belongs in the X-Men living under the cities.
He's not relatable, Colin. He's not relatable to me. No, it's just, I don't know. It might have been like the character design. Like I like his face, like Danny DeVito's face and the makeup prosthetics are awesome. But dude, like when you see him like fully, like with the pajama pants, like he looks goofy as fuck sometimes. And I'm just like maybe as a kid, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm not into it. And then like even at that young of an age, Jesus Christ, I can't talk. Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, like as awesome as she is with the whips and shit, neither of these villains just compared to Joker for me. Like it was just, when you're a kid, you're comparing those things. You're like, ooh, this second one's going to be bigger and badder. And just because you've got two villains, it doesn't really necessarily make it better than the first one. Well, that was just me when I was a kid, but that still kind of is a rule for a lot of superhero movies. Like take look, Spider-Man 3, right? You've got all those villains. You've got fucking Sandman. You've got Venom. You've got the Proto Goblin or whatever the fuck. And you can't, like, that movie, as much as it stuffs its villains into it, it's just a prime example of like, just because you have three villains, it doesn't make it better. And I think as a kid, I kind of like subconsciously recognized that with this movie, even though I didn't really think about it until like an adult. And that's not to say that it's terrible. Like, it's just a little weaker. Like, you're automatically comparing villains and shit in sequels. And that being said, dude, this is going to shock you, and this is going to lose a lot of the listeners. My Batman growing up was Val Kilmer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. Like, I loved Batman Forever growing up. Like, I mean, you got Jim Carrey #1. Like, holy shit. Like, at that age, man, like, I'm into it. I love that shit. Like, he was hilarious. Jim Carrey was a hero of mine, man, back in the day. He still is. Like, I love that guy. But I think Val Kilmer just had the look as well. Like, he could pull off. To me, he looked more Bruce Wayne than Keaton did. Like, he kind of like pulled off that suaveness than Keaton does. Like, Tim Burton takes a different take. He takes a different take for for Bruce Wayne, I think. It's not that classical kind of like show, like, suave Bruce Wayne that Val Kilmer is. Like, I don't know.
Right, he's not like the GQ kind of cover Bruce Wayne, like, kind of thing. I know what you mean. Like, Michael Keaton's a little bit more. He's always been quirky, kind of.
He's like a wild card, right? Like, he's just yeah, and that's why I think like when Keaton was originally cast as Batman, a lot of people were like, oh, that's weird. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not the first person you think of. But yeah, man, my Batman growing up was Val Kilmer, and I don't know why. It could have just been the age that I was. That movie came out, I believe it was 95. So I was like, I was 3, but I didn't see it for a couple of years after that. And this one, I mean, I wasn't even born. So, you know, back when you're younger, you don't really watch movies that that are older than you, because you're just like, oh, it's old, so it's obviously not as good. Like, that's your thinking when you're a kid.
I don't know about that shit, dude. I don't know anything. Nah, you know me, dude. I'm like, we were literally talking on air. Hey, what year to come out? 2012 next.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was just me. Like, my thinking as a kid, like, oh, it's old, so it's not as good. Whereas, like, now I'm like, holy shit, the older it is, the better it is, probably. Like 12 Angry Men is like one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, you know what I mean?
So good, dude.
But like this is a fantastic movie, man. Let's get into Tim Burton just for a little bit, because we didn't even talk about Tim Burton. The dude in his prime was fucking killing it.
Yes,
like,
dude.
Especially around the 90s and especially the early 2000s. Like this is his heyday here. Batman Returns, Batman 89, Edward Scissorhands, Ed Wood,
fucking Beetlejuice.
Fucking Beetlejuice. Yeah, holy shit. Well, how the fuck did I forget that? But yeah, man, like this was Tim Burton's prime. Like, right now though, he's making some really questionable choices, man. Like Alice in Wonderland, and
it's so hard to watch, man. It's so hard to see somebody like that. Just it's hard. It's hard to follow them in that descent. You know, you're like, God.
Yeah, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I'm kind of really hoping that this Dumbo movie is good, but I mean, you know, I don't know.
Right.
He did Planet of the Apes in 2001, which was a massive, massive bomb. Dude, I like Sleepy Hollow.
Dude, I love Sleepy Hollow. I was going to say Big Fish. If you've never seen Big Fish, I fucking love Big Fish. It's so good.
Big Fish is good. Corpse Bride is cool too. Like Corpse Bride, like the animated one. Mars Attacks, good shit.
Oh, dude, I haven't seen that in ages.
Yeah, it's strange as shit. But like, this is a strange director. This is a director who I love when I'm able to pin down a director's sensibilities. Like, that's why fucking Ridley Scott eludes me, because he doesn't have this like trademark. It's just, you know, it's just random shit.
I picture you on a boat with a beard and then a whale with Ridley Scott's face on it, and you're just chasing it through the ocean trying to catch this thing.
I'm fucking Captain Ahab.
Yeah, right. Starboard hole.
Oh boy, get that Moby Dick. Yeah, man. But yeah, this movie was fantastic. Let me. Oh, fuck me. I was telling you off air, this is not, in a million years, I would never have guessed that this is the first Batman movie we'd cover. Like, I would never have guessed that. I would have guessed either The Dark Knight or Batman Begins or Batman 89.
You know, and it's funny because right when we started talking about it, you were like, no, save it for the podcast. Shut up. I was like, okay, cool, okay. But what my rebuttal to that was going to be, I think it's the perfect movie for us to start our Batman, you know, because we're both, you know, we're big comic book fans, but even bigger Batman fans. So to me, it was almost the perfect choice to start this on because Michael Keaton's, you know, the 89 one is kind of intimidating to start on. That's a huge movie.
Oh,
you know?
Absolutely. And so is The Dark Knight for the same reason.
Exactly. But you don't want to go back and start on something like, you know, and I don't hate Batman Forever, but I don't want to start on it. You know, I'd rather start on it than Batman and Robin, but still, it's not leaps and bounds better than Batman and Robin. Well, I take that back. It is a leap and a bound, but not very much better than Batman and Robin, in my opinion. But
I think it is. I think you got to watch Batman and Robin again, man.
Oh no, I have. I watched it the other day, and I watched Batman Forever, and I'm like, yes, Batman Forever is way better. But man,
so you're insane right now?
Yeah, no.
Cool.
Batman Forever is way better, but Batman and Robin is not that far behind it. It's really not. I can't even get into it, for God's sakes. But really, I'm just like, I'm fucking like, the left side of my brain is having a stroke and the right side is having an aneurysm. I'm just like, because I could sit here and just not talk about Batman Returns and talk about all these movies all day long. I would have no problem. I mean, everything from even the animated stuff, dude, like Under the Red Hood and fucking The Dark Knight Returns animated, like
Mask of the Phantasm.
Yes, dude, like those are all fucking great, man. They're Batman the Animated Series, like so much of that shit is great. But honestly, I think it's the perfect movie to start on because it is a Tim Burton, Michael Keaton Batman film, and it's got a great cast. And I think it's something that's kind of steeped in a little, I don't want to say controversy, but it's very divisive. It's very divisive among film fans, comic books and Batman. So it's interesting to kind of see. I think you can tell a lot about a person by what their Batman is. You can really tell, like, what is your favorite Batman movie? This is still personally like my favorite Batman movie because of nostalgia, and I can even see the phrase on the corner of the VHS box that we had. Like, I can remember it so well, and I would give so much money just to have that copy again because I wore it out, man. And this is my favorite Batman movie. The Dark Knight is a better film, don't get me wrong, but like I just haven't had fucking 20 years to sit on it. I just haven't.
Right.
And it didn't hit me when I was a kid, but there's some kid out there right now who in 20 years was like, dude, I mean, they're going to be looking at Michael Keaton like Adam West, and it's fucking crazy to think that. But yeah, I love this movie. I just think it's so well done. It's so quirky and it's so its own thing, but I mean, finish your thoughts. Where are we going with that?
Yeah, sorry. I have a lot of, there's a lot of word vomit that I got to get out. It's just, because my kind of train of thought was like, holy shit, now I actually got to talk about Batman. Because we haven't spoken about Batman, we haven't spoken about our thoughts on Batman. Obviously, the listeners probably know from other episodes about what we think of Batman, but man, Batman is my favorite superhero of all time, and fuck you to all the people who are like, oh, he's not a superhero, he's rich. Like, shut up. Like, he's a superhero, okay? Like, come on.
He's DC's Iron Man,
Yeah, like, exactly. But, like, not even that, man. As much as I love Marvel, as much as I love the MCU, there is no more iconic character, maybe in pop culture, like, not even, like, in superhero-dom, like, not even in comic books, like, just in pop culture alone, dude. Like, think about that. Than Batman. Like, This is a character that's going to survive the test of time. This is someone that's going to be recast and retooled and have every single version told about him until the end of time. Like, every time when people talk about Ben Affleck's Batman, I did hear all the, why are they like redoing it again? And I just look at them and I'm like, are you serious, dude? Like, this character, he's not going to die. He's not going anywhere. Like, I don't know how people haven't accepted that. This is a character who teaches the best fucking lessons, man. Like the whole thing about duality and like facing your fears and overcoming the less confident part of yourself. Batman might have some psychological issues. Might. He creates a symbol, but I love the idea, and like it wasn't really apparent to me until I watched the Nolan films that Batman is a symbol. It wasn't as like superhero movies; they were just that before Batman Begins to me. Like before Batman Begins, like it was just like a bunch of like superheroes just like jumping around and like action scenes and all that shit. But and like I know we're not talking about Batman Begins here, but that movie kind of made me realize that holy shit, Batman is a symbol. He's not a person. He's not like this guy in a suit. He's this entity that just kind of like exists solely to strike fear in the hearts of criminals. And like that shit to me, dude, is awesome. And that works best for Batman. Like you can't really do the same for Iron Man. Like you can't be like, oh, he's a symbol. Like, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't really work.
I love what he says in Batman Begins. He's like, I need to be something terrifying, something elemental. I'm like, dude, that is fucking awesome. Like something that's an element, it transcends one individual. Anybody can pick it up and you're like, it's, holy shit, you are this this now, and I understand what that represents. And that's such a crazy concept, you know?
And something so awesome to be born out of tragedy. It's just, man, this character is just so fucking awesome. I love Batman. To date, you said I'm a big comic book fan earlier. That's not true.
I mean, in general, you would read a comic book though. You like the movies, you know. If I bought you a comic book, you know, you would. Right. Yeah, I mean, I know you don't personally seek them out, but to me, that's an umbrella term for people who are into the animated films, the movies. I mean, the Lego Movie, Batman, whatever. You're a comic fan of whatever the comic book characters, you know, whatever you want to call it.
The first comic book that I ever owned, and I've only got like 4 comic books, and they're all Batman. Like, they are all Batman. The first comic book I ever owned, went to a convention with Matt Vella not too long ago. I think it was 2 years ago. And I was like, dude, you know what? I'm going to buy a fucking comic book. And the first thing that came to mind, and it's only because The Dark Knight was partially based on it, was The Killing Joke. And I'm looking at it right now, man. I love The Killing Joke.
That's a fucking good one to start with, man.
Yeah, man. I got The Killing Joke. I've got Hush. I've got Court of Owls. And I've got The Dark Knight Returns.
Yes.
And, all 4 of those, dude, are fucking, like, that's quintessential Batman. Oh, actually, no. I've got The Long Halloween as well. So
that's dude. That is dream movie, honestly. Just a little ramble. Christopher Nolan directing a Batman versus Superman film that has Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Batman, and it's based around Dark Knight Returns, and maybe it's produced by Zack Snyder. Like, maybe he has some kind of hand in it, because you need somebody with an eye like Nolan, but you need a fanboy like Snyder in there, kind of mixing it up. You need them to balance each other. Now, I'm not saying Christopher Nolan needs to be balanced. He made one of the best trilogies of the last fucking 50 years. So it's really hard to say that needs to be balanced with it, but when you go into something that's based off of such an iconic comic book, you know, then you would need somebody like Zack Snyder. But when you're doing your own thing,
or J.J. Abrams, because J.J. is a Star Wars fan, and that's what made Force Awakens so great for me.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but that's my thoughts, dude. Like, this movie, it's great. It's a great movie. I do think it's got a few issues that I'd love to get into. I mean, like, it's not massive things. It's just, you know what? It might be a massive thing. Like, it feels like.
Oh, I bet it is.
No.
Speaking of low-hanging fruit.
Oh, yeah. You know, Tim Curry in Scary Movie 2, when he sees, like, a half-naked girl, he walks around the corner, he's like, ha ha! Oh, Tim Curry.
My spirit animal.
Oh, he's great. But anyway, the big issue I have with this movie, and you mentioned it earlier, it's kind of like a Frankenstein of a script, and I can feel that. It feels like 2 movies sometimes. Like, I love the idea of, like, of Cobblepot and Shrek working together, like, to both achieve something. But I don't like the penguins with the rocket strapped on their backs. Like,
yeah.
It's and you know what it is? It's kind of like it sucks because Tim Burton was able to shy away from this in the first one, but this is kind of like a combination of, like, the first 89 Batman plus elements of the 60s Batman, of the Adam West Batman.
Yeah.
Like, that shit with the penguins, that is totally 60s Batman.
Right. It's almost cute. You know, you're like, oh, that's cute. You're like, no. Like, I don't want it to be cute. This is our climax of the movie, man. Like, this to me seems like this is the most Tim Burton-y fucking movie I've ever seen in my life. And they they flat out gave him complete control over this, you know. And I think that it absolutely shows. I mean, the guy's on stilts, and, you know, you've got people breathing fire, and it's so fucking Tim Burton.
Snow and winter and darkness.
Right, yeah, and just that super, like, German Gothic kind of look to God, it's such a beautiful looking city, especially just draped in that snow. It looks so good. But, dude, it is so dark and cold and, like, unwelcoming. It's, like, very just, like, stay away. Like, holy shit. Like the house that we roll up on at the very beginning, not to, like, jump into it right away, but I'm like, that just must be Tim Burton's house. Like, the house that the Cobblepots live in.
Like, well, we can jump right into it. But, yeah, you're totally right, man. Like, this house is This is some ridiculous like gothic shit. Like,
Dude,
he masturbates to this shit. Like he goes into a room and he's just basically looking at like posters of like giant gothic like landscapes and like, you know, land masses and buildings, and he's just like, oh yeah, get it into me.
It looks like all of Vincent Price's characters that ever were had a hand in making this house. Like, it's so tall and dark and just like, hello. Like, it's so
dude,
creepy.
You know what's more hilarious? Like, when I found out that he's married to Helena Bonham Carter, and I'm like, that's like a match made in heaven. Like, she's like totally gothic looking.
Now, to be fair, I don't think that they are anymore. I want to say that I want to say that they aren't. I think I read that. I don't really care either way, but I think either way, it doesn't really matter to me either way. I just want you to look like a jackass. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm jackass. But yeah, before we jump into it though, if you guys want to check us out on any of our socials, anything like that, you can find us on Instagram at Midnight Double Feature or on Twitter at MDF Pod. You can also find us on Facebook, Midnight Double Feature. We've also got the group called the After Party, where everybody chimes in and puts in news and stuff like that from anything currently going on. We just got the Hellboy trailer and the new Men in Black stuff. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now. But you can also find us on Spotify. We've got our YouTube thing going on. If you don't feel like fucking with any of the platforms or anything like that, you can always find us on YouTube. And if you have any comments or suggestions, anything that you guys maybe want to hear us cover, you can always email us at midnightdoublefeature@gmail.com, or just reach out to us on our personal pages or whatever if you ever want to. I'm always down for that. I don't want to speak for the other guys. I might be like, hey, fuck off, don't talk to me. But no, yeah, right. That's us. But yeah, without any further ado, I say we just go ahead and jump into this.
Absolutely, dude. Let's get into it.
Okay, word. But yeah, we open up on this on this fucking Michael Jackson Thriller house. This crazy, this crazy fucking dark, winding catacomb, scary as shit fucking house. And we actually get like a shit ton of these kind of shots. A lot of these like swooping in over the front gate kind of kind of shots. I love the way that this house looks. I mean, it's gorgeous. Like, just that I love that German, like I said, that German Gothic kind of architecture. Like, it's so
old school.
Right, and it's very imposing. It's very intimidating. It's just like, God, everything is just so larger than life. But yeah, we just basically get a look in on Oswald Cobblepot and Chester Cobblepot, and I for the life of me I cannot remember the mom's name. But yeah, this scene always fucking disturbed me as a kid. Like, it was just for not only when he walks back into the room and the doctor has his mouth covered and you can just hear him scream in the background. It's like, holy shit, like, that's fucking terrifying. But then he fucking pulls the cat in the cage with him.
Yes.
Like, oh God, dude, like, that's fucking, oh Jesus. Like, don't get me wrong, kids, I fucking hate cats too. I'm not a cat person. I'll have a 40-foot, 500-pound dog, but I will not have one kitten, dude. I can't stand cats.
Dude, just quickly. So Cobblepot must have come from one of these two, and I'm betting it's the dad. Like, he's probably got some bad cum because of that fucking monocle, I guarantee you.
Right, they've been like inbreeding for like 400 years in his family. like it's, you just look on the IMDb credits, it's like Penguin's mother and father and brother and sister. You're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it's
why has God cursed us with this child? Oh wait.
Yeah, we probably should have tapped out of our own bloodline for a little while.
We probably shouldn't have snuck away during Christmas dinner.
Yeah, we always just call him Uncle Daddy Brother. Oh, sorry. I'm still over getting sick, by the way. I apologize in advance. Winter has not been fun here in Tennessee. I know you don't care about that, Zoheb, because it's fucking probably...
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's probably...
summer right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's summer all year long. But yeah... we just see, you know, kind of the origin of the Penguin. And I love this. You know, you see so many movies that drag out this origin story over the first whole act of it, or the, you know, 2 acts, and then we, you know, get this thing. It's like, dude, okay, cool. We see his whole origin in 15 minutes while the fucking credits are rolling. I was like, cool.
Yeah.
I always hated that, because in movies you get these credits and they never do anything with them. And it's like, dude, you show me something while the credits are going on. Build this world for me. Like, go, like, you have the time. Here it is now. Like, just show and don't tell, because you can't talk right now. You can't have any dialogue. We're doing the credits, so do something with this. I've always fucking loved the way that they handle this, and so
and these credits are so very nice. There's no such thing as like long credits anymore like this.
Oh God, no.
So yeah, the fact that they use this time really wisely is fantastic. But dude, I also don't want to like forget, before we go too far, the score for this movie, the music. Holy shit, man! Danny Elfman did such a great job with the music in this and the '89 one.
Oh yeah,
like this is like as awesome as like Hans Zimmer is with Batman Begins and Dark Knight Rises. I love those 3 soundtracks. This is the quintessential Batman theme, like da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na, like that shit, man. Like it feels like Batman. It's just it's awesome. It's cinematic as shit, and it's just it's so good, dude. Like later, there's I've got a note here, like when Catwoman is when Selena is like destroying her apartment and shit, man. Like, and the music just kind of flares up. It's fantastic,
dude. That's my favorite piece of music in this whole film, when she starts freaking out. Ba-da-da-da. Yes. It's like, oh, dude, it sounds so good. I think I just started doing the RoboCop theme there, so you might want to ignore that. But
dun 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 dun.
Yeah, right.
Dun 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 dun.
It's so funny. Someone's like, "Hey, what's the music from Star Wars?" Oh yeah, ba-da-da-da-da.
But also with the opening credits, just before we go too far, do you remember the way the first one opened?
Yes, where it's like inside that big ass bat symbol, I think.
Yeah, we think it's like a cave or something like that, but then it's like revealed to be like the bat symbol, which is fucking badass, man.
Yeah,
like,
I remember that.
I'll never forget that. Yeah, I just remembered like watching this, because they open very similarly, these 2 movies. And I thought like this would like pull back to reveal like the bat symbol, but it doesn't.
Right. Also, I don't want to go by Stan Winston. Special effects for this film.
Oh yes.
Fucking Jurassic Park, Terminator. If you don't know who Stan Winston is, turn this podcast off and go fucking Google him. For the love of God, dude. He's one of my...
And don't come back.
Right. And don't come back till you know a little bit more about Stan Winston.
No, just don't come back.
Yeah, just don't come back at all. Alienate us. 1 star. But yeah, basically, yeah, we've got Cobblepot's parents just fucking giving him the axe. A little bit of tough love.
Which is dark, by the way.
I mean, your parents did this to you, right? I mean, they did it to me. I turned out fine. I just always made my way back home. Much.
Yeah, I mean, like this. I mean, when I got chucked into that river, like I know that all rivers lead to the ocean, so I kind of like hugged the coastline and found my way back.
See, I eventually just made one with the seals that were there, and they accepted me as one of their own. But to each his own. To each his own. But yeah, basically they fucking, you know, they pitch him into a goddamn river, throw him in the sewer. Like, holy shit. But which, I mean, as a kid, I just like even the whole that kind of, I guess, that carriage that he's in is just so creepy looking to me. That dark, almost like a turtle shell, like kind of
like Rosemary's Baby or some shit.
Right. I was like, God, this is fucking creepy, man. But yeah, basically, you know, they give him the pitch. We get our credits, and eventually, you know, he's and I don't want to go by. You know who his dad is in this, right?
No,
dude, it's Pee Wee Herman. It's Paul Rubens.
Oh, I thought so. I thought, you know what? I was like, why does he look so familiar?
Right? Yeah.
Guys, you heard it first. Paul Rubens has terrible semen, and that's why he's able to create monster penguin babies.
Yeah, right. Paul Rubens' balls are full of poison. But yeah, and we cut to what, 33 years later in this shot. I also don't want to go past the shot of them as they pull up to that, you know, the part where they're going to be throwing him off. We start at the city skyline and kind of drop down. Holy shit. I mean, just Gotham is so huge, man. It just seems like such a massive entity, and it's so lived in and real. It's one of my favorite, one of my favorite parts of this movie, just for that.
And yeah, that's what I wanted to like touch on just quickly. So Gotham in these first two movies, and like it does blow up. It does like they still kind of continue this a little more in the third and fourth ones, but like they don't look anything like this. Like this is very like it looks like a portrait kind of thing. But
right.
So Nolan gets a lot of flack for this. So Nolan gets a lot of flack for not creating Gotham like how, Gotham's supposed to look. It just ends up looking like Chicago or like Pittsburgh or New York, which look, I'm not, when we do Dark Knight or something like that, I'll defend it more, but that's not really what like Nolan's going for in those movies. Like he's going for this kind of like this realism, but I think Batman works a lot better in these kind of like cities, like these cityscapes, like this kind of like fictional sprawling empire kind of thing.
I think you need. I have no problem with what Nolan does, but I see your point. You need a larger than life canvas for a larger than life character. I definitely agree with that. But Penguin's parents give him the boot, chuck him up the river, up Schitt's Creek without a paddle, and he winds up in the sewers, adopted by the Penguins. And we cut to 33 years later. This is where we're introduced to, obviously Max Schreck, but also the mayor of Gotham. We're also introduced to Selena Kyle. And I love the opening shot with Alfred. Most of the time it's just a waste of time. Yeah, he's so fucking classy, dude. I love Alfred when the guy's selling those newspapers and he's like, fuck off, dude.
I really like Michael. Is it Michael Gough or Michael Go? But he plays
know.
Alfred.
Yeah, I say go with go.
Go. Yeah. He's great, man. Like I always loved him as Alfred.
Dude, no offense to Michael Caine, but this guy will always be Alfred to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is where, Donald Trump, Max Schreck he's pitching this huge power plant. It's going to be huge. It's got great power. We're never going to run out. Yeah,
it'll be great.
It's absolutely never going to run out. Don't ask me about my hair. It's absolutely never going to run out of power. I'm going to need power permits. I'm going to need tax incentives, all those kind of things. But dude,
the Mexicans will pay for it.
Yeah. Dude, but
doesn't he remind you of like a mad Elon Musk?
Kind of, yeah. He is kind of like if Elon Musk, like if he eventually like became like a Sith, if he just like tapped into some dark ancient shit he wasn't supposed to find.
Walken is great, but man, like I love Walken. Like this is like between like this, he was crushing it in the 90s, man.
Oh,
like his one scene in Pulp Fiction, like holy shit, dude.
His watch up his ass.
Yeah, he put it up his ass. But yeah, he's like he always struck me as this weirdo. Like because the first movie I actually saw him in wasn't this. Not saw him. Like I saw him in this first, but like really took notice of him was in Welcome to the Jungle with The Rock. Like he's a villain in that.
Fuck you! That was the first Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Well, wait, you guys call it Welcome to the Jungle?
That's a great fucking movie.
You call it Welcome? Well, I think ours is called The Rundown. Okay, I was like, wait, Welcome to the Jungle. I was like, no, the first. No,
he was hilarious in that.
Yeah, I will say it's a better movie than people give it credit for, but it's not like holy shit, man, that was your first Walken. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But dude, you want good Walken? Please go watch King of New York. It is such a good movie. Christopher Walken is like a crime boss. Fucking dude, Lawrence Fishburne, Wesley Snipes. Like, dude, that movie has some fucking talent behind it, man. Like David, what's his name? David Koresh. He's in CSI Miami.
Yeah. Wait, David Koresh.
Oh no! Oh my God, David Koresh. David Koresh. Yeah. No,
you mean DJ Caruso? Is it DJ? No, DJ. No, it's what's his name?
Oh,
Something
God,
Caruso.
It's David
right?
Caruso. That's what it is. Oh, that's great.
Koresh.
It's weird. I listened to their Batman Returns podcast, but somehow they linked it to CSI Miami and the Branch Davidian.
For some reason, I ended up looking up fucking standoffs and sieges against the FBI.
This is not where I thought this episode was going to go.
No. But okay, so Walken, yeah. I mean, like, but if you want good like Walken, like actual like really deep into it, like full on acting Walken, like hit up Catch Me If You Can. Like he's fucking incredible in that movie.
Is that Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah, he's like, 2 mice fall into a bucket of cream. Yeah, he's awesome, dude. He won an Oscar for that, I'm pretty sure. Or he got nominated, one or the other.
Okay. But yeah, this is where we hear, Max Schreck's pitch for this power plant, and in reality, we find out later on that will not be a power plant. This will be a capacitor stockpiling, sucking energy from Gotham. Basically, Schreck wants to leave this as his legacy to his son, which is Donald Trump Jr. I love this whole scene because it's also his delivery. Quite frankly, Mr. Mayor, I cringe. It's some of it's so hammy.
His hair just reminds me a lot of Christopher Lloyd from Back to the Future.
Yeah, right. He just showed up in like a DeLorean.
Marty,
great
you need to go back in time. You need to go back in time to save your parents. But dude, this is also kind of like the scene where we get introduced to Michelle Pfeiffer as Selena Kyle, and dude, they try and like ugly her up, and they just can't. She is still fucking beautiful,
dude.
I loved in the 90s when they did this shit.
Oh yeah, they're like, put her hair in a bun and put glasses on her. I'm like, go ahead, she's still hot. But the only thing that drives me crazy about this is, we get this whole thing where she's like, I have a suggestion, more like a question, sorry we haven't properly housebroken Miss Kyle. On the plus side, though, she makes a damn good cup of coffee. He leaves. Oh, boy. Calls her Miss Kyle. He leaves, forgets the speech, blah, blah, blah. He gets down there. Literally, he goes, I forgot my speech. Remind me to blame it on what's her name. I'm like, dude, you literally just said her fucking name like the scene before. Like, don't act like that. Like, don't act like you don't give a shit. You know her fucking name, dude. Like, come on. But yeah, there's kind of a lot of different stuff like going on right away. We've got the stuff with Max Schreck going on, and we kind of linger with Michelle Pfeiffer. And we've also
this movie, something I love about it wastes like no time. Like it went right into it.
Well, speaking of wasting time, I tell you what. Let's get basically. We go down to the lighting of the tree ceremony. This is where you've got the whole I forgot my speech. Santa Claus, afraid not. I'm just a schmuck who got lucky. Sue me if I want to give something back. It still throws me off. What does he say? I wish I could give out more of the presents, expensive bottles. I'm like, what are you? What are you saying?
Yeah. Baubles.
It's like baubles. It's baubles.
Baubles. Yeah.
But yeah, this whole thing. Then we've got the emergence of the Red Triangle Gang.
Dude. Oh, but you can. Oh, but you will.
Oh, dude, that's great.
His voice, I love it, man. Like his voice is awesome. Like it's like Danny DeVito.
You can. Oh, but you will. I'm like,
Danny
Jesus.
DeVito in this role is fucking awesome, man. Like the casting all around, I think, in this movie is awesome.
Yeah. Now, what is crazy about Max Schreck, though, this was supposed to be Harvey Dent. They were going to continue on with Billy D. Williams from the first movie.
Yeah.
So it was going to be Two-Face, Penguin, Catwoman, kind of thing. So instead, but I don't know why things got shifted around. They took it off of Two-Face. Billy D. Williams is not even in this movie. There's no mention of Harvey Dent anywhere, which is kind of disappointing. I wouldn't mind seeing this because what happens to him at the end of this movie would have been the incident that turns him into Two-Face and sets up Batman Forever. That's the whole point of it. But it just didn't end up coming to fruition, and they just went ahead and just jump-started just saying, because they kind of give you the little bit of epilogue, or not epilogue, I guess preface in the third one where they show him getting attacked in court. But all of that was supposed to stem from something that happened in Batman Returns. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I wouldn't mind seeing that version of the movie at all. I wouldn't mind seeing Christopher Walken as fucking Harvey Dent, getting turned into this thing. Like, dude, fucking him or Billy D. Williams, I'm totally fine with.
Dude, I wouldn't mind seeing a serious fucking Tommy Lee Jones play, like Two-Face. Like, not that goofy bullshit that we got, like a serious Harvey Two-Face.
Right, yeah, not that. He's like so over the top in it.
Yeah.
But speaking of wasting time, this is what kills me. It's so fucking funny. The cops show up, the Red Triangle Gang shows up, all hell breaks loose. As soon as the cops get there, like... Literally, they pull up. They don't even get the car and park. And he's like, what are you waiting for? The signal. It's like, dude, get out and shoot someone. Yeah. Just pull out a gun. Shoot anybody. Just
do something.
Just fucking try. Oh, my God. But... that's not even the part of wasting time that kills me. It's the Rube Goldberg machine that alerts Batman when the bat signal goes off. Like he has all those reflectors go off, like the fucking breakfast machine at the beginning of Back to the Future, or the thing that answers the door in the Goonies. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah,
he's like, just sitting there. He's like, oh wait, we have some movement, but I have to wait until the entire thing is done.
Right? Yeah. Like I love him sitting there and waiting. Like he's got nothing, but he's just waiting for the next call. I love that. I really do.
Dude, this is one of my favorite moments in the movie because of the music, the way the music lights up and like the shadows, the way it's shot. This is fantastic. I love Michael Keaton here as well.
Dude, yeah, and I love when he stands up and the logo's behind him. Dude, it looks so fucking good.
Yeah.
But yeah, this whole thing, man, doesn't this seem like a perfect way to start off like an Arkham Knight game? Like it seems like the perfect first level to play on. Like, oh, dude, I would love this level. Like beating the shit out of all these guys. You even got the big dude with the handlebar mustache. Like he would be one of the bigger bosses that you have to come up and kind of do like the Cape Sun first and start punching that. I was like, dude, this would be perfect for an Arkham Knight level. Like,
and before you get to the main villain, you got to defeat the guy who, instead of dick in the box, it's got the minigun in the box, like that fucking guy who pulls out the fucking gun and starts shooting at the Christmas tree.
Fucking Vincent Schiavelli, like, dude, that guy's terrifying, and like, that guy's been in so many fucking, like, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, The People versus Larry Flint, Man on the Moon, Ghost, like, that guy's been in so many fucking movies. He's a great actor. Batman shows up on the scene, lights some guy on fire, doesn't have any problem with that, which is kind of
he kills a few people in this movie.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. And people give fucking Dawn of Justice shit. I'm like, dude, come on, man. Yeah. Like this motherfucker literally just like this guy literally like turns a guy into 5-alarm chili. Like he just turns around and lights this fucking guy on fire, and nobody ever talks about it. It's fucking crazy.
Well, dude, no one ever talks about it. I would rather death than the shit that Batman would do to me. Like seriously, I would rather death than fucking grievous bodily harm.
Oh, dude, you know the torture he's picked up
and
over
psychological
decades?
Torment.
Right, yeah. Like psychological torture and torment over decades in other countries. Like, holy shit. We get this interaction between Selina and Batman. You know, I love this whole thing. Wow, the Batman, or is it just Batman? Your choice, of course.
This reminds me of The Social Network when Sean Parker, Justin Timberlake's character's like, drop just Facebook.
Yeah, that's a really good pull. I never even thought of that. I love her. You know, this is where she gets the taser and she tases the fuck out of this dude. You know, who basically held her hostage. I do hate the whole trophy. He shoots the wall behind him. You missed, you know, and he pulls it, dude. Oh my god. Yeah. But it's 92. How many times has this been done yet? You know, who knows?
That's right. And I also love the lighting on Batman's face here. Like that. I'm pretty sure I've seen that photo. Like that's a very, very popular photo. Like just him like looking at Selina, and it's kind of like got that darkness like draped over him. It's cool.
Dude, I will say when she goes to tase the guy as he's unconscious, this clown on the sidewalk, her face is really sexy, dude. Like she has this like very like mischievous kind of grin I was like, dude, that is so fucking like Michelle Pfeiffer, even Zac Efron, when he did a movie with her a couple of years ago, and she's what, 60, 70 years old now?
Dude. She was in Mother with Jennifer Lawrence and what's her name?
Javier Bardem?
No, Javier Bardem, but she was making out with what's his name? Jesus Christ. Man in Black from Westworld. But whatever.
Oh, Ed Harris.
Anyway, yeah, Ed Harris. Jeez, I was like Ed, because I'd said Ed Wood earlier, and all I can think of is Ed Wood now. Dude, she aged so fucking gracefully. Like it took me like 4 hours to watch this movie because I had to rub one out like 8 times.
Dude, I mean, and I haven't watched Ant-Man and the Wasp, but she looks great in that too. I was like, wow, you have aged like Greek wine. Like, holy shit. But yeah, we also see this is where Shrek makes off. You know, we want to see the big guy. You know, the guy in charge, and you know they come after Shrek. Shrek takes off running. Dad, save yourself! Go! Like, what a fucking dumbass. Like, yeah,
this guy's fuckwit.
They call him Chip because he says he has so much dead air in his head, much like a bag of chips. Like, this dude is so fucking dumb. But But yeah, Batman runs. Isn't it crazy that literally Batman shows up? He runs over a couple people, lights a dude on fire, throws maybe like one punch, knocks the dude out, and then everything just stops. Everything, I was like, what the fuck is going on,
He's
dude?
walking around normally and shit. I was like, this is weird. Like, it just stopped.
Right, and it's so odd. Like, how many cops do we have here? Let's say we have 10 cops. One Batman shows up and everyone's like, oh shit, I better get out of here. Like, dude, all these other guys have guns. Just start shooting at people. Dude, it's so fucking funny.
So Shrek meets Penguin under Arctic World in the zoo, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that. I love him just getting sucked into that trap, and even the whole pulling through the zoo. It looks so fucking Beetlejuice, dude. That is so fucking Beetlejuice and just terrifying ass shit. Like Tim Burton's nightmares would, dude. That I think I would need to be medicated afterwards. Like I could not imagine the shit that keeps him up at night. That must be so fucking terrifying, man. But like you said, this is where we meet in the sewers. I believe the word you're looking for is
yes.
I fucking love that, man.
Okay, so there are like I said, this is my least watched Batman, but honestly, man, like there are like moments of this that just absolutely leap out, and that's one of them. Like dude, he's so good. Like the reveal of his look, and man, Danny DeVito he's fantastic in this movie.
I love because he just turns around and walks and sees him. He's like, hi. And like, dude, like
hi.
Right, no super big grandstanding until the next moment.
It reminded me of the Joker meeting Harvey Dent for the first time in The Dark Knight. He takes off because he's dressed up as the nurse. He takes off the thing and he's like, hi.
I love this. Believe it or not, Max, you and I have a lot more in common. We're both perceived as monsters, but somehow you are a very well respected monster, and to date that I am not. And this is where we find out that basically Penguin wants to reemerge. He wants to come back to the surface. There is such a good shot when he's like, I come from, and he points at the roof. He's like you. And dude, when he points, dude, the camera work is so good. It shifts the focus up to that kind of like skylight that he's got going on and right back down to DeVito's face within seconds, dude. Like it is pinpoint. It is like millisecond pinpoint good, dude. It's so fucking great. And you almost kind of feel for him here for a second. You're like, wow, this guy really, okay, cool. Like he's been abandoned. He's been treated like shit, man. Like I'm surprised this guy hasn't been just eating people down here like an X-Files monster. Like what the fuck has been going on with this guy? This guy could have been so much worse.
Dude, I got 2 words for you. Flamethrower umbrella.
Oh, dude, like, so fucking badass, man.
Badass.
All of that shit, all of them, he's like, what is that supposed to do? Hypnotize me? Bang! No, it's supposed to give me a splitting headache. But
I love that he threatens Shrek with like blackmail, like he's got the toxic waste, and then he's got the papers that he like taped together.
Oh yeah, he's like shredded all the documents. Basically, he's got the toxic sludge on him. He's got proof that he owns half the fire traps in Gotham, and then
he's got Fred Atkins' hand.
Yeah, he's like, how's your old partner, Fred Atkins? He's on extended vacation. He's good. It's, hi, I'm Fred's hand. You want to meet any other body parts? I was like, holy shit, dude. Like, he's so fucking over the top. Like, the black shit coming out of his teeth. I was like, what? God damn it, man. Apparently, it's like mouthwash and black food coloring, I think. Danny DeVito busted this out at a Comic-Con one year. He just happened to show up, dude. And he's like, dude, I haven't done it forever. Pops some water in his mouth and just starts going into the wretched scaling, brother, and dude jumped into it like he had not done it, like he'd done it the day before. Like he did such a great job, dude. And this is like 2016, 2017 that he was doing this. It was so fucking good.
I think Danny DeVito, man, like as an actor, he's often underrated. Like I was telling Matt, I think it was in the last upcoming attractions, I was watching Matilda not too long ago. Have you seen Matilda?
Oh yeah, I love that.
Matilda is awesome. I did not realize until like last week when I was watching it that he directed that movie, and he's awesome in that movie. Like he's great, but like not only that, man, he kills it every fucking time. He's on. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, dude, he's great.
He's awesome.
Do you watch that show? Do you like it?
Yeah, I love that show. I used to watch it back in the day. I was telling Matt, I haven't been able to watch the latest season because like it's not streaming anymore. I got to find a way to watch it.
Okay. Just quick. Do you remember the the actor who plays Mac's dad in this show in Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's in this movie. Oh, God damn it. He's in Batman Returns at one point. I'll point him out to you, dude. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. But either way, yeah, this is where Penguin basically blackmails Shrek into kind of helping him have a public reemergence to, because and this is smart. He's going to be, people are going to be fucking like hounding him and wanting to take pictures of him for better or for worse. Not only does he want something out of Shrek, but he also wants this as protection. It's actually really smart. He's like, dude, I want a bubble between me and the people when I get up there. That's fucking smart. It really is. It's where we also cut to Selena. We see Selena's life. She's got a boyfriend who wants to leave her for the, oh, yeah, about that winter trip. Dr. Blah, blah, blah said that I should go alone. There should be some, it should be something, something about being an appendage. She's like, some appendage. I'm like, ooh, nice. Dude, this thing it's a very cynical script. It's very snarky. And it has a lot for a PG film. How adult is this fucking movie, man? There's a lot of shit in this, man.
This is M here. So, this is M. So, this is actually PG-13, I guess, the equivalent. So, I don't want to get past it, but, the guy on the fucking recorder, it needs to be his own person. I'm like, fuck off, dude. It's Michelle Pfeiffer in a prime.
I know, right? Dude,
but I love that she's... Oh, no, go on, Colin.
I would say, as Selena Kyle, she seems so sweet. She's like the woman, she's like the girl next door, the girl you want to take home to mom. She seems like just so nice.
Yeah, but so this is the 90s where if you're a loner then you're weird. So she's a loner. Honey, I'm home. Oh, I forgot I'm not married.
Oh yeah, just fucking talking to her cats. Maybe if you were chipping in instead of stepping out.
I love the set design here, man. I've always loved that neon sign in a room, and this place, this apartment looks very lived in. They did a really, really good job with this set.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think we've ever agreed more on a movie. Honestly, we bump heads a lot, and sometimes but this is one of the few movies where we both watched it a lot. We both have a lot of history with it. It's
we're
rare.
Vibing, mate.
Right? Yeah, it's rare that happens. We find something that kind of brings our Venn diagram of movies together.
Totally.
But, she leaves a message. Hey, Selena, this is yourself. This is me reminding you that you're going to have to come all the way back down to the office and pick up the files for the Bruce Wayne meeting. This is great, and this is where he walks in and she's cracked this code, reading about the
protected files.
Yeah, the protected files. How industrious. I fucking love his delivery of stuff. And this, basically where she says, it's a power plant name only. It's actually going to be a giant capacitor. It'll be sucking energy from Gotham and stockpiling it, which is a very novel approach, I'd say. And who would you say this to? It's like, dude, such a good line.
This reminds me of, so you don't watch Game of Thrones, do you?
No.
Okay, so this is not a spoiler at all. In the pilot, in the first episode, one of the kids, Bran, it's awesome, dude. He witnesses something that he's not supposed to, and one of the characters goes up to him, like Max is here, very sort of imposingly, and he's like, oh, he's not going to tell anyone. He's not going to tell anyone. And you think he's going to let him go, and then it's last second, he's like, bang, pushes him out the window. And this is exactly this totally reminded me of this time around. I love how he fakes it out, and he fakes her out, and he's like, huh?
Oh,
and,
dude, yeah.
Dude, he's awesome, dude. And the fall itself is fucking neat. It doesn't look real, but the marquees, man, I love the way she falls through the marquees. It's and then she hits the floor. Oh, it's great.
Well, dude, yeah, the shove it's almost a jump scare. You're like, oh shit. When he first shoves, you're like, holy fuck. But like you said, yeah, she kind of fits those, I just called them canopies. I don't know, fucking marquees, canopies, whatever you want to call them. Because Lindsay and I are watching this. She's like, wait, she's dead as fuck. I was like, yeah. Oh, yeah. She would definitely be dead as fuck, but comic book logic.
This is comic book shit,
right? Comic book shit. This is movie bullshit.
She's got 9 lives,
right? Exactly. This scene disturbed me as a kid very, very, very much. All the fucking cats gnawing on her fingers and shit. I was like, god damn it, man! And her eye fucking flittering like she's having a seizure. I was like, dude. I mean, it scared the fuck out of me, but at the same time, this is such a good this is such a good physical show don't tell kind of thing of show us that she's going through this transformation, show us that something is going on, because we don't really. Okay, she's surrounded by cats, they're fucking gnawing on her, her eye is fucking twitching. Like, dude, it's a great transformation scene. It's almost like it reminds me of something from like almost like American Werewolf in London, like a transformation into this new kind of creature, and I fucking love it, man. It's so good. And it scared you. Sorry,
go on.
I say it scared the fuck out of me when I was a kid.
It is, no, seriously, it's super creepy, and the way it's shot, like with the cats, like the shadows on the walls and shit, it's awesome. Have you seen the bullshit terrible Catwoman film?
Oh no.
It is atrocious. It's so fucking bad. But I think there was a similar scene from this, man. Like I don't know, but like that movie just never like totally like none of that was Catwoman to me. And I remember watching that at a very young age, and I remember hating it at that age as well. But yeah, this was always like the moment of Catwoman. Like this was so scary. Like especially the eyes. Like you said, man, it's the eye, that's the eyelid flittering and shit. But not even that. Like when she walks into the apartment in the next scene and she's like, "Honey, I'm home. Oh, I forgot I'm not married." And you get that really cool shot of like the door opening and the light in the background. It's just a silhouette. And like she turns on the light and she's just staring straight into the camera for a little bit.
Yeah, dude, I love that. And it's kind of like a throwback to the line we just saw. I love, she starts playing the answering machine. "Hello, Selena Kyle. We're just calling to make sure you tried Gotham Lady perfume. One whiff of this at the office, and your boss will be asking you to stay late after work for a candlelight staff meeting for 2. Yeah, Gotham Lady perfume exclusively at Shrek's department store." I'm like, oh, dude, to hear that right after this just happened, dude, like, holy shit.
By the way, you can't get away with that line in 2018. Oh, God, no. That's a Me Too that's a Me Too thing.
Dude, but this is that music that you're talking about, Dad.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, there's very few things that I like more than this that Danny Elfman has done. Very, very few that. But, dude, it sounds so great because right when she screams and she throws the carton of milk and just starts fucking wrecking the place, man. It's great. It's so swelling. I don't know. I'm trying to find the words to describe it. It's so just, it's tragic. It's sad. It's so sad, the music behind it, but you can empathize with her, dude. She's treated like shit. She's literally had people try to murder her. Like, and you start to empathize with her so well just because she's fucking losing it. She lives in this 1-bedroom apartment where her bed folds up into the fucking wall. Her mom won't stop calling her. Men won't start calling her, or when they do, they call to cancel these trips, and she gets treated like shit by her boss, and eventually she just fucking snaps, dude. And I love how her character works out. I love this whole thing.
It certainly is fantastic, man.
Her shoving the stuffed animals down the fucking garbage disposal, that always fucked me up as a kid, man. Like, this is one of the earliest movies that I can remember watching, and so much of it was like, man, none of this makes sense, and it's fucking me up as a kid. Like, it's scary because it's a logical. You're like, why is she painting just like a black line in the wall with spray paint? Like, why is she destroying her stuffed animals and stuff like that? Like, it's stuff you don't really get as a kid, but now as an adult, I'm like, oh, she's trying to destroy all this stuff about this previous life, this person that she doesn't really want to be. Right. I love the hello there sign turns into hell here. That's so fucking good. Yes. I love that, man.
See, like, this is something that even as an adult, you don't really get. Like, you don't really get the logic of like, why is she painting black like this the dollhouse? Like, why is she like, it's not really something you can understand or empathize. Like, you can empathize with it, but like, it's not something we can really understand until you're actually kind of in that situation and you're acting that irrationally and erratically. I literally wrote down, like, what is she thinking here? Like, you know what I mean? Like, when she starts creating the outfit, I'm like, does she really need to be like, I need to create this sexy but kind of like intimidating outfit? But really, she's kind of doing this to kind of like not only boost her confidence, but becoming this like new whole other person that she's just kind of like that she's going through. It's awesome.
Right. That's what I was going to say. It's a complete metamorphosis. That's what I like about it. And it's all this kiddie shit that she destroys. The dollhouse, the stuffed animals, like the pink shirts in the closet. Like, that's all the stuff she starts spray painting over. We see her bust out the leather jacket, and we have our first glimpse of Catwoman, which is, I don't know about you, Miss Kitty. It's like, oh my God, dude, that is such a fucking good scene, man.
This was my first jizz break.
Well, dude, she was vacuum sealed into that suit. You know, they actually hooked a vacuum up to her and sucked the air out.
Really? Oh my God.
She could only go for so long before she'd start to pass out and shit. Dude, Michelle Pfeiffer, I mean, dude, she learned how to work a whip. That's a live bird she puts in her mouth later on.
Yes.
Like, dude, she went through a lot of shit for this movie. And I honestly, I wouldn't change anything casting wise about this movie. Not one goddamn thing, especially Michelle Pfeiffer. I mean, except for, I'm going to say she's probably my favorite casting over anybody. DeVito, Keaton, Walken, like this movie. Maybe you don't like Batman movies, maybe you don't like the way that they've gone, but at least watch this for the fucking Catwoman scenes because they're so good, man. They really are great.
Totally.
Yeah, this is where we see, the mayor is having the speech. I'm here to denounce the crime that seems to be plaguing our city, but it won't stand and blah, blah, blah. And literally as he's talking about it not happening, a guy comes up and steals his own fucking baby. This is Mac's dad from Always Sunny.
Okay. Yeah, because this guy looks slightly familiar to me.
Yeah, dude, it was those big ass fucking blue eyes that he always has. I'm not one for speeches, so I'll just say thanks. And he takes the baby, backflips down the drain, and I love how staged all this is. Oh no, the horrible penguin man! Please don't hurt me. Just take the baby. It's so fucking it's like a 1930s like serial cartoon. it's it's so fucking staged.
DeVito's great here, man, and I love the score. I love the music here as well. Like this is. It's totally staged. Like anyone who's like looking out at this would like know it's staged. But I love I was their number one son. They treated me like number two.
Oh, dude, yeah, and it makes you feel bad for the guy. To a child. He's like, I want to find my parents. I want to know what happened. I want to know why they decided to treat me. Once they saw me, they decided to treat me differently. He's like, I'm a boy who spent his first Christmas and everyone after that in a sewer. I'm like, holy shit, man. Like, and I love that Bruce is he's sympathizing. He's like, yeah, I lost my parents too, and I turned into this thing. And like, I think at first he kind of symbolized or he empathizes with that. He's like, yeah, I understand. I kind of in a weird way understand what you're going through. Like, I wasn't abandoned like you were, but my parents were taken away from me for something that I didn't do. And like I was just a little kid. I couldn't do anything about it. The kind of like, I think it's kind of in a way like they were both powerless to change their situations. And I think that's something that Bruce kind of, I
love that. I love that he's able to understand this guy. And you know what else is weird, dude? It is so weird that we don't get much Bruce until the 36-minute mark.
Yeah, well, I mean, shit, we don't really even get a lot of Batman either. That's kind of one of the criticisms of this movie is the fact that, we have, counting Shrek, we have basically 4 main characters and we get so little screen time for Batman. We really do.
Right, and I think that might have been working against it for me when I was a kid. Like, I was like, there's really not that much Batman and he doesn't do that much cool shit. But like, when you get older, you start to like villains a lot more and more when you get older. And I love that this is more of a villain piece. Like, it's great.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, dude, look at Dark Knight. Don't get me wrong, we get way more Batman than we do Joker, but when we get Joker, we're fucking foaming at the mouth.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, this is, I love what Bruce says here. He's like, his parents, I hope he finds them. He's like, he's optimistic about this guy at first. Because we all know,
genuine, man. I love Keaton there.
Right. We all know the way that Bruce Wayne of Batman is. He's problematic. He's thinking, what are the logistics and the problems of this guy emerging? What's his angle? What does he want? And to see him finally just be like, yeah, I hope it works out for him. It's like, you never see Batman have that kind of moment for someone. He's almost kind of paranoid. He's always on the fence about people. He has contingency plans for people in the Justice League for when they go bad. He's like, dude, I know how to kill all of you. I'm like, holy shit. Like, so I've always especially loved that scene, especially the way it's lit. Yeah. It's just that natural fireplace lighting on his face. It's like, God, that's so fucking good, man. It feels so real.
World's greatest detective he is.
Yeah, right. I love this scene. He's reading about the Red Triangle Gang, and he takes a bite. And he's like, "It's cold. It's fishy swell, sir. It's supposed to be cold." I always loved that as a kid. I thought he was eating oatmeal as a kid. I was like, "What is that? What is that? Oatmeal? I don't know what the fuck fishy swell is."
I have no fucking idea.
Oh, dude, I was just about to ask you. It's like, is this something they have in Australia? Is this like Vegemite or something?
No, that's gonna be some British shit.
Right? Yeah, it's Alfred, so of course it is. You'll have your Earl Grey tea and crumpets at 3:00. But yeah, that's where, Bruce reads up a little bit of, basically, that he finds out there's some kind of disappearance or a murder with this Red Triangle gang, and at least one aquatic bird boy freak show disappeared before he could be questioned. And I love this. Alfred's like, I suppose you feel better now. He's like, no, actually, I feel worse. It's like, damn, dude, like, again, this is Batman. Like, yeah, I feel bad for this dude, but I got to check him out. I have to. I'm Batman. This is what I do. Like, I have to have a contingency against you. Like, that's just the kind of person that he is.
The Batmobile rolling through, like Gotham, like just slowly in the snow, fucking badass, dude. And also, Batman does the Bale voice. Did you notice it here?
Yeah, dude, this is how it should have been done, though. He's like, I think I know who his parents are. You're like, dude, that's cool. He almost sounds more.
Where's the trigger? Give me the trigger. You wouldn't give it to an ordinary citizen.
Oh, dude, it's so bad. You know what he sounds like? He sounds like Kevin Conroy here, like from the animated series Batman, dude. And like this whole thing feels like, I mean, like, you know what? I honestly, I could lose Penguin and substitute him for Mr. Freeze, honestly, dude, because like I like what they do here, I really do. But like, if I were to have a winter Batman movie, I really want Mr. Freeze. Like, honestly, like maybe like Jeremy Irons, Mr. Freeze, like kind of thing,
like a Heart of Ice story as well.
Yes, dude, fucking so good. And this is where we kind of see that, Penguin's at the Hall of Records. He's reading over all these birth certificates, writing down names. All of this will come back later. We don't really know exactly what's going on, but I love the earlier that guy's like, what about the freedom of the press? He's like, what about the right to find your heritage in the privacy, blah, blah, blah. I fucking love his whole speech. And give the Constitution a rest. It's Christmas. But I agree with that. I always thought, that's fucked up. They're keeping him out of the Hall of Records. And it's like, well, honestly, at the same time, though, if you were just a normal guy, you wouldn't have all these people around you like fucking swarming. So this is what Max is there for. He's there to shield him. It's so fucking smart what he's done to pivot himself in this situation. But
for sure.
we find out that this is where we see that Penguin's parents are dead. I believe it's Tucker and Esther Cobblepot. I think I called him something else earlier on, but Tucker and Esther Cobblepot. I love this scene. I really do, just because it's this kind of where he knows he's being watched. He's got to put on this big performance of putting the roses down and sitting down in front of their grave and blah blah blah.
Falls to his knees, dude.
Right, yeah, he knows he's being watched. He's such a good actor for these people, dude. But I love it. Mr. Penguin, a penguin is a bird who cannot fly. I have a name. I was like, holy shit, dude. What a great way to start that. A penguin is a bird who cannot fly. I was like, that's great. But this whole speech is good, He's like, you're never, what he says, my name's Oswald Cobblepot. He's like, Mr. Cobblepot, you'll never get to settle up with them, huh? And he's like, yeah, that's true. He said, but, basically I can't. What did he say? He's like, it's human nature to fear the unusual. When I held my Tiffany baby rattle with a set of flippers instead of 5 chubby digits, they flipped. I fucking love that line, dude. It's so good.
Yeah, essentially he kind of like forgives them though, and like that's what the newspapers like end up saying.
Right? Yeah. There is a cameo here real quick right after this scene where they're the guy selling the papers and they're like, oh, he's like a frog that became a prince. Oh, he's really more like a penguin. That woman is Bob Kane's wife, who is one of the
I thought so.
Yeah. She's in a couple of things. Fuck Bob Kane for one thing. Fuck Bob Kane. I mean, I'm sorry, dude. I can't get into this right now because I just fucking.
I know.
The guy is such a fucking prick, man. But
he is a prick. But I mean, like, he did have a hand in it. Like, it's not like okay, so he didn't solely create Batman. Like, Bill Finger is now only just now kind of really getting the credit for it as well.
It's Dawn of Justice. It was Dawn of Justice where he first.
Dawn of Justice.
Right. Yeah. Batman and Bill. Great documentary on Hulu if you guys haven't watched it. But please, if you love Batman Batman, check out Bill Finger. Read about that shit, man. It'll get you mad. But yeah,
we get Catwoman's entry, right?
Yeah, I love this. You know, she fucking tic-tac-toe? Like, she claw the guy's eyes out? Is that what she does?
No, she doesn't claw it out. Like, it's violent as shit. Like, she claws at his face and, like, it creates, like, that tic-tac-toe kind of thing. But look, this is the first time we actually kind of see her costume kind of close up, and she looks fantastic, man. I'm always kind of, like, blown away about how good she looks. Always waiting for some Batman to save you. I'm Catwoman, hear me roar.
I hate that. I hate that. Oh, God.
There's a few lines in here that are really, really weird, and we'll get to them a bit later. But there are some really
80 backflips away from the place. I'm like, dude, she's gonna have a seizure by the time she lands. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. Hey, Catwoman, you could have walked. Like, you could have walked away.
You know, you got a whip. You could just kind of wrap around stuff and fly away. It'd look a lot cooler. As she's backflipping, another dude pops out and just stabs her. He's like, "Hey, I should probably stop doing that." But this is where Shrek and Bruce Wayne meet face to face. Bruce is talking to him about his power plan. You know, he's like, "Well, I'm gonna go against you on this. You know, I've already talked to the mayor and we see eye to eye. May has come and go. Blue bloods tie easy. You think you can go 15 rounds with Muhammad Shrek?" I was like, "Holy shit, dude!" Like, but I love their demeanor. Their business, but they don't really like each other, but they're being civil. You know, I love their kind of relationship that's going on. He's like, "Well, I guess we're gonna see." He's like, "Of course, I don't have a crime boss in my corner like Cobblepot, you know." And this is where we get the reintroduction of Selena, you know. And he's like, "If my sister wasn't here, I'd ask her to escort you out." You know, it turns around and she's right there. And I love her line: "Anywhere he wants, preferably some night spot, grotto, you know, or some secluded hideaway." I'm like, "Holy shit, dude!" And she is. You could tell, like, there's just this veil over her eyes. She's somebody totally different now. She's confident. Oh, dude. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I love Shrek here, man. Selena. Like, oh, dude. Like, Welcome is awesome here. I love how, like, he's like, "Did you injure yourself on that ski slope coming back from vacation?" Like, he goes so overboard. He goes so far that it's like, I wonder if, like, Batman kind of, like, got some kind of inkling that he's, like, talking shit. Like, can you imagine if he's like, "Did you injure yourself on that ski slope, you know, going down that 30-degree angle and, you know, in that really warm summer's day?" Like, he goes so far.
I'd love if he were just like, "Did you injure yourself when I pushed you out the window and you hit all the awnings on the way down?" Like, that'd be so fucking funny. She's like, no. But yeah, she fakes amnesia. You know, she's like, "I remember Sister Mary Margaret puking in church," and Betsy Riley saying it was morning sickness.
Yeah.
That made me laugh because that made me think of you. I was like, because you spent a lot of time in a Catholic school, didn't you?
Yeah. I spent I spent 6 years in the Catholic school.
I couldn't imagine seeing a nun throwing up from morning sickness. I just laugh. I couldn't help it, dude. I'd laugh my ass off.
Yeah, that would be the talk of the fucking school for years, dude.
Dude, hell yeah, man. You know, and I remember the time I forgot to wear underpants at school, and the name of the boy who saw it was Ricky Friedberg. He's dead now. I'm like, holy shit, lady. Like, I love what Bruce says later. He's like, "You got kind of a dark side, don't you? No darker than yours, Bruce." I'm like, "Oh, that's fucking sexy."
Yes.
Or couldn't you just die? I'm like, God damn, dude. This is a little much, though. I don't like this because she literally paces back and forth, and she's just grandstanding, doing this whole super dramatic, like, kind of thing. I'm like, okay, come on, dude. Like, we get it. You're back. You're not supposed to be here. You've caught the whole room off guard. You caught these two guys off guard for completely different reasons, but there's almost like an empty space right here where she's just walking back and forth, and she just goes, "Couldn't you die? Couldn't you just die?" I'm like, okay, stop this scene. Like, start picking up from here because I can't fucking stand it. I never liked this one little bit, dude. It's so weird.
You know, it might work a little better if we didn't know that she's alive still. Like, if we looked at it from Shrek's point of view, like if we didn't see her transformation and things like that, and she kind of like just walks in, and you still have that air of surprise about it, then like it might work a little better.
Yeah, but, that's interesting.
But because we've already seen it, then we're a little, you know, the audience is a little bit, you know, a little less interested in it. and it's really tough to kind of put yourself into Max Shrek's shoes, right? Like, you know, you still got that shock, but it might have worked a little bit better if we didn't see the transformation. But honestly, I wouldn't trade that transformation scene for anything, to be honest.
Oh hell no, dude! It's so fucking good. But yeah, she escorts Mr. Wayne out. You know, you don't seem like the type of person who takes orders from Mr. Shrek. Well, you don't seem like the one type person who'd be working for him, or doing business with him, or whatever they say. They kind of set up a little bit of a date. I love this. You know, he's like, well, you know, I could free up some time. She's like, I'm listed. He's like, I'm leaving. You know, I love their dialogue. It's very quick. It's very, you know. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say I love Walken here. He's like, if she tries to blackmail me, I'll drop her out of a higher window.
Yeah, I was like, God damn, dude, holy shit. But yeah, moving on. This is where we get, and I love the way this shot starts with him kind of goading Oswald into running for mayor. The way the shot starts, I don't know what you call this. I'm not technical, you know, I'm not technically versed in filmmaking, but when you have something that's in the foreground and something that's in the background, but they somehow are able to focus both of them, but you have a blurry kind of section in the middle of it. I love that shot, dude. I fucking love it. And he tips him down there with the raw fish. It's like, dude, this is another one of those fucking just disgusting things, man. I hated this as a kid, but I could not stop looking, man. It's just like a bad car wreck. I just couldn't look away from him. It
looks so good. Like, is this a real raw fish that Danny DeVito is?
I know. I was like,
it
dude,
looks fucking fantastic. Like the flakes of the fish in his teeth. Ugh,
dude, I can only imagine what food that must really be. I was like, what is this, dude? And unless it's, I mean, it looks raw as fuck. Unless it's something cooked, I don't know. I'd be interested to see about that. I'll have to look that up once we're done here.
And by the way, like I would be so fucking embarrassed. Like I would be so pissed off at Max Shrek for this. I was like, I'm eating fucking like with my bare hands, and you led me into a crowd. I'm sure Cobblepot couldn't give a shit, but like, dude, I can't eat chicken in public. Like I have a problem with eating chicken. It's like the least like attractive thing to eat in public. Like you're fucking like picking the meat off the bones and shit like with your fingers. And I'm like when I go to a KFC or something, I sit in the corner and just like try them.
Dude, that's why you gotta go with the boneless breast, man. Come on, amateur, Jesus,
dude. Yeah, but like when I go to KFC, like that's the only place where I eat like chicken in public, because you know I fucking love the original pieces. But like when I go somewhere else, I always get like the strips so I can eat it with like a knife and fork.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, dude. I haven't had KFC in years. I'd probably vomit. But yeah, how dare you diss the kettle? I love this. He goads him down with the fish, and you know he's basically saying, I want you to run for mayor. You know, and what does he say? He's like, Max, elections are in late November. Is this not mid-December? I'm like, oh, dude, can you fucking just not gargle with like broken glass for 2 seconds, dude? Like, can you not speak in a normal voice just once? Like, holy shit. I love this. You know, where he's what is this? The two image consultants. Yeah. Oh my god, dude, these people fucking are so it's like Josh and Jen. She's like, our voters show us that people they like candidates with fingers or something like that. I was like, what the fuck?
Not a lot of reflective surfaces in the sewer, huh? Could be worse. My nose could be gushing blood. And I love like when DeVito turns around and just like does that fake laugh. Oh, it's fantastic.
Oh, dude, yeah. And also when they put the cigarette with the filter in his mouth and he just spits it right back out, it's kind of like a cool kind of diss to the original homage of like the the 1960s Batman kind of thing. But DeVito's face, when he turns around and he's laughing, is so fucking crazy. And he bites him in the face. Let's make a mayor. I fucking love this, dude. And yeah, this is where he lays it down. He's like, He's like, yeah, you're right. We missed the regularly scheduled election, but public officials can be recalled, impeached, given the boot. Look at Nixon and Agnew, then think of you. Oswald Cobblepot filling the void. I'd like to fill her void. I'm like, holy shit, dude. That's fucking creepy,
teach
man.
my French flipper trick.
That's what I'm saying, dude. And then, like, oh my God, when he gets him on the steps, he's like, no, I've got far too many things going on. I can't be mayor. And he's just like, he just starts pitching him all of the stuff. He's like, you'll have so much, basically, you'll have a chance to fulfill your destiny. Your parents carelessly discarded unlimited poontang. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
They sneak so much shit in here, dude. Like, in addition to like Catwoman's overly sexual, vibe, like they sneak a lot of sex stuff in here.
Oh, dude, when he pops up later on and he's like, just the pussy I've been looking for. I was like, okay. I was like, all right, dude. That's like a little too on the nose. Like, if he just came in and Michelle Pfeiffer's legs were spread and she had nothing on, just like, I think they're trying to be sexual here. I don't know. Like,
yeah. I'm sure the MPAA had a lot of fun, going through this shit.
Burton somehow, dude, like Beetlejuice. Now, Zoe, be honest. Have you seen Beetlejuice yet?
No, I haven't.
God damn it. There is a scene, we're talking about a PG movie here, okay, where he kicks this tree over and goes, nice fucking model. I was like, holy shit, that's a PG movie. I watched it at school one day as a kid. I was like, what the fuck, man? That's crazy. I can't believe that. Like, there's so many movies that can get away with that. Not anymore. There's no fucking way.
Dude, you can get away with a lot with PG back in the day. I think it was Temple of Doom. That was the really famous one with the heart rip.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's I don't say that's rated R, but that's definitely not PG.
No.
But yeah, basically Shrek calls upon Oswald. He's like, I need you to start fucking shit up. I've got my candidate, like he says earlier, he's like, I've got enough Shrek employees alone to issue a recount. He's like, yeah, that's great, but you don't have a candidate and you sure as hell don't have a platform. So now they've got a candidate. Now they're going for the platform. He is not doing anything about Gotham. Gotham keeps getting attacked by this gang. It's so smart. They're both using each other to their own gain. And it's kind of fucking crazy how good of a plan this is for both of them in a way. For Oswald to seem so good and shiny on the surface, and for Shrek to get what he wants, in the long run. It's fucking cool. I love this plan that they have.
It's mutually beneficial for sure.
Right, yeah. They're definitely 69ing each other. It's crazy. But
and then you get Gotham in chaos.
Dude, this is so a fucking Arkham Knight fight, man. Come on.
Yeah, totally. On the street, yeah.
Dude, I want that so fucking bad.
By the way,
go ahead.
I was going to say, Batman knocking their heads together is so 90s.
Oh, dude, yeah. Oh, my God. The guy swinging the pole and Batman just ducks, like he squats and just turns around. I was like, dude, that is so lazy. But
so, I was gonna say, the hand-to-hand stuff is actually it's not bad, man. Like, it's pretty decent. It's not as good as it can be. Like, it's not Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice like hand-to-hand good. Mm-hmm. Because that, honestly, like, as bad as that movie is, and like as terrible as the plotline is, that is the best Batman action I've seen on screen.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Like, that was because, don't forget, man, at this time, like, Keaton wasn't able to turn his head. Like, that was something they fixed in The Dark Knight, and that was something they weaved into the fucking actual storyline in that movie. But like the hand to hand, man, like, I really don't mind it. Like, it actually looks pretty decent. But I love that, like, Batman has the time to calibrate a batarang while one of the four goons is aiming an RPG at him.
Right, dude. I'm like, dude, all right, played a lot of Arkham Knight. I know you've got like a cryo blast in there and a disruptor. Yeah. You've got a lot of shit you could fight this guy off with. But
he had one of those, like, you know how, like, on top of his head, like, it gets like that blue kind of like thing, like where you got to dodge. He had that on him for like ages. The guy pointing the RPG.
Yeah, like his Spidey sense. Yeah. Dude, what cracks me up is the guy running around with the goddamn sword in his mouth. How efficient is that? That's not efficient, dude. That's not a good place for a sword.
The shot of Batman, like, pulling out of his mouth, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, that guy is so calm about it, too. He's like, you got it? Okay, good. but yeah, I don't want to go. I don't know actually if we're there yet. This is another one of the Batman deaths where he fucking straps the bomb to that dude. I was like, oh shit, man! Like that's fucking dark. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, he pulls the bomb off one of their guys, but this guy, I believe, is I think his name's Paul Hurley. I don't know. I might be wrong, but he. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. There's an arm wrestling movie with Sylvester Stallone called Over the Top, and this guy is the bad guy in it, and it is fucking Now it's not the greatest movie in the world, but it is. It has some decent moments, but it is fucking hilarious with this dude, this big bald-headed dude. They're fucking arm wrestling, and he's pulling the arm down. He looks at Stallone, and he just goes, "I own you." Like, it is so fucking funny, dude. It's so fucking funny.
Selena breaks into this sporting goods store, dude, and like, I've got a note here. I just wrote, "She can whip me all night long."
Dude, yeah. Oh, dude, I don't know whether to shoot her or to fall in love.
Yeah. Our take home is less than 300. You're overpaid. Hit the road.
Yeah, and I fucking love this dude. Just going into the store and just fucking shit up. Like, who never wanted to do that? Just go into a store with like a baseball bat and just like smashing cash shit. Like, holy fuck. We also get our first kind of face to face with Batman and
this is one of my favorite sequences in the entire movie. Like, not really the Penguin and Batman facing off. Like, I love the lines here. The direct approach. I admire that in A Man in a Mask.
Yes.
But I love Selena showing up. Like, she's doing the backflips and shit. And they just kind of look at her, and all she says is like, "Meow," and then fucking boom, dude. I love it.
Well, dude, and I don't want to go past. You know, he's like assessing the damage, touring the riot scene, you know, mayoral stuff. He's like, "You're not the mayor." He's like, "Things change. Like, you don't really think you'll win, do you?" He's like, "Things change." I was like, "Oh shit, that's fucking cool." Like, I like how that line kind of comes back. But yeah, she fucking blows Shreks to fucking sky high. Reminds me of RoboCop when they're blowing up the gas station. That's the first thing I thought of.
Because it's honestly, the explosion is probably as big. Like, it's massive.
Oh, dude, yeah, it's huge.
But I love. I saw her first, gotta fly, and like, it's so Penguin with the flying umbrella.
Yes, dude. Now, I will say I love the faces of the architecture in it, and that is something that did hold over in Batman Forever, which I did like. It was an easy transition for me. They like, not there's like, they do keep some of like the big kind of almost like Atlas, you know, carrying the world on his shoulders. Like, they carry over a lot of that architecture that I liked, but yeah, like I love him just like, how many kids, I definitely tried this. I definitely jumped off of a high platform with an umbrella thinking it would sustain me. I'm like, I definitely tried this at some point.
Yeah, I tried that, but not from like a rooftop or some shit. Like, I just...
Yeah,
maybe like a low fucking deck.
Yeah, I was gonna say my fucking deck at home or something like that.
Yeah.
Now,
but the visuals of Catwoman, dude, on the rooftops is awesome. Like her with her outfit and the steam. Oh, it's great, man. And yeah, Catwoman. Catwoman and Batman fight on the roof, and like she fucking like, he hits her like that is like a full on hit, and I was like, damn, like this like, how do you do a Batman and Catwoman fight without him hitting her? And at first it was like kind of shocking, and I love that she plays into it. Like, she's like, "How could you? I'm a woman." Oh, she's so clever.
Right, yeah, exactly. She knows. I mean, we're talking about this guy who's, you know, standing up for all the right things, these traditional values and blah blah or whatever, and he knows that he's not if he's not going to kill people, he's probably not going to hit a woman, you know, and uses that to her advantage. You know, I'm a woman and I can't be taken for granted. I'm like, that's fucking good. That's a good line. But
you know what line is not good?
What's that?
"Life's a bitch, now so am I." Never loved that.
It's not great. But yeah, basically Batman, he pulls her up. They kind of have this moment. She fucking like stabs him in the rib with one of those nails, and he kicks her into a fucking truck full of kitty litter.
Yeah, it's important that she stabs him, and he ends up she ends up like having like a scar on like her arm.
Yeah, he hits her with that acid thing. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's important because I love the way that comes into play later.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, I tell you what. Do you want to take a break here, and we can pick back up in a minute?
Yeah, for sure, dude. Let's do that.
Awesome. We'll be right back, guys.
Hey guys, it's Zoheb just breaking in the middle here. We've got a few things that we just wanted to put out there for any newcomers, or if you're not part of our growing community, maybe this could benefit you too. Firstly, we just wanted to let the newbies know about our episodes and the way Midnight Double Feature is currently structured. As you know, right now you're listening to one of our feature presentations. When we started the podcast, we basically built the show around our feature presentations. These are movies that we choose to cover and basically go through everything in the movie that's worth talking about sequentially. These episodes are generally longer, and we're definitely looking at options to spice up our feature presentations by getting guests on, very much like LSG Media's Matt Anderson in our Get Out feature presentation. We also have our upcoming attraction episodes. Typically these come out during the week and are much shorter than our feature presentations. These are hosted by Matt Vella and basically consist of a conversation between Matt and I about any movie news that's worth talking about, quick reviews of movies that are currently out in the cinemas, and other hijinks. Finally, we have our special features. These are usually one-off special episodes that are mostly experimental and don't really have any specific definition. They could be a sit-down with a cast or crew member, a conversation between the hosts, or just a straight-up different thing that might not even relate to film. Before I let you get back to the episode, I just wanted to thank our listeners and supporters. We definitely couldn't have done any of this without your guys' constant support. If, for some reason, you're not a part of our growing community, head to our socials. We've got 2 pages on Facebook, Midnight Double Feature, which is our main page and has our formal announcements, and we also have the After Party, which is where we post memes, news, and teasers of what's next to come on Midnight Double Feature. We're also on Instagram, which is at Midnight Double Feature, and Twitter, which is at MDF Pod. Thanks again for listening, guys. Back to the show.
Hey guys, what's going on? We are back after the break here to finish discussing Batman Returns. Freshly squeezed.
Oh, he said this. He said the catchphrase.
Freshly squeezed are nuts. No, but
mine is.
Yeah. But yeah, our bladdies are empty. Our bladdies are empties and our cups are full. And we're back here talking about 1992's Batman Returns. We're getting right now to the scene where Cobblepot is kind of really starting to fall into this whole mayoral thing. This is great where he I may have saved the mayor's baby, but I refuse to save a mayor who stood by helpless as a baby. Dude, this such political shit, man. This guy is born to do politics in this way. Such a conniving piece of shit, man. Like, oh, it's so fucked up.
Is this the scene where it's like you're the hottest young person a role model could have?
Oh, yeah, dude. That's fucking... Oh.
Yeah, have a button.
Oh, dude. Like, the girl to the left, I was almost positive was Christina Ricci. And I was like, wait. This is 92. Christina Ricci's like 5 years old.
Yeah.
But I was like, holy shit, that looks like Christina Ricci. And I was like, no, wait. We got to wait till Sleepy Hollow to see a blonde Christina Ricci in a Tim Burton movie.
Nice. Good pull.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, this is where, he's ascending the steps, and we kind of meet, Penguin and Catwoman for the first time. Have this kind of, dude. Well, I love the guy being like, "Hey, Penguin, my name's not Penguin, it's Cobblepot," and I mean, holy shit. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say this is so comic booky. The villains like teaming up together and like to take down the hero. This works so well in this movie, but in lesser movies like Spider-Man 3 with Venom teaming up with Sandman, works so much lesser. Like this is something that I think this movie kind of pulls it off pretty well because of these 2 performances.
Right. Yeah. Some of it is like meh. Like some of it doesn't hit so well with me. The line that really gets me is just the pussy I've been looking for. I'm like, holy shit, dude. But this is where they start connecting. We both have problems. What does he say? It's like contempt for the czars of fashion. Wait, don't tell me. Naked sexual charisma.
You know what I love? I love that this is shot in a way where it's like it's kind of like this Arrested Development thing. Like you think these two are alone in this room, but they're not.
Yeah, it's like 8 or 9 people.
Yeah, there's like 8 or 9 people to the right there working on fucking his plan, like to disassemble the Batmobile.
Yeah, what if she did want to fuck him? What if they just started having sex right there? Like, does the Red Triangle gang get involved, or do they just add like musical ambiance in the background, or like?
I'm sure they just watch.
Right? Yeah, they'll just stare at her the whole time.
Yeah. Pretty important though. Like she finds a list of names and he gets pretty annoyed. He slaps it away. And then, dude, this is really well shot. Like this part around the bird cage, and then like she takes the bird and puts it in her mouth, which, like you said, dude, she actually did. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, dude, dude. All the diseases and fucking bacteria and shit that you could get from that bird. Because, like, you pick me up and you put me in someone's mouth, the first thing I'm going to do is probably shit. I've got shit everywhere, dude. I was like, dude, that is fucking disgusting. I'm in a weird
place. Where am I? Oh, shit, there I
go. Yeah, my first instinct, anywhere I wake up, I'm in a strange place. I shit everywhere. I'm a terrible house guest.
Oh, yeah, me too. That's me after I, like, wake up from a drunk stupor. I'm like, where am I? Oh, there I go.
Oh, shit my pants. I must be home.
A plan's forming.
Making the little noises when he's doing the bat like logo. I was like, holy shit. Some of this stuff, she's like, I feel dirty, and starts licking and cleaning herself. I'm like, dude, come on.
Yeah, I don't like that. I was like, I literally wrote in my notes, not a fan of the bath.
No, dude, it's so, oh my God.
Pretty cheesy. Right. Cheesy.
But this is where Oswald, he challenges the mayor to relight the relighting of the Christmas ceremony, or relighting of the Christmas tree. Basically, not that I have any faith in the mayor, but I hope and I pray that Batman will be present to maintain the peace. I'm like, God damn, dude! Like, and the way he stares at the screen when he says it, God, that's fucking scary. Yeah. I
love this conversation between Keaton and Pfeiffer. Catwoman's thought to weigh 140 pounds.
Oh, yeah, and he's like, Batman blew it? That's not even accurate. It's all fake news. It's news that's not real.
It's not real. It's not real.
But like I said, I love this line, where she's talking about, just the way she's staring off. She's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And she's like talking to herself. I'm like, God, that's fucking crazy. She says, you're not going to the relighting of the tree ceremony, are you? And he's like, oh, no, I wouldn't be caught near that thing. No, I wouldn't be caught dead there. It's going to be a hot time. It's going to be a hot time in the cold town tonight. And he's just like, yeah, kind of a dark side, don't you? No darker than yours, Bruce. I'm like, oh, that's so good. I love that line. And she looks so good, dude. Like, I kind of wish Michelle Pfeiffer was in Blade Runner. She looks so, like, imagine her as, like, Pris in Blade Runner. Holy shit.
Oof. Yeah.
But yeah,
especially like when she's playing someone like unhinged like this.
Right. Hell yeah, dude. But yeah, Bruce sets up for an early dinner. Come over at 5:00. We'll watch it on my 70,000 inch TV that I have at home.
They're not watching anything, man. They're saying Netflix and chill, but they are not Netflixing.
Yeah, right. No. They're we also see, we've got Penguin busting in on the I don't even know what you would call her. The Ice Princess, sorry.
Yeah, I hate this scene so much.
Well, it always cracks me up because she's like, I don't just like trees. I'm an actress as well.
Oh, God. But like she's like, I didn't call her the Ice Princess until later. I called her Bimbo. Bimbo says, who are you? And she falls for Talent Scout. But like Penguin's been on TV for so long now.
Right. How did you miss this guy, dude? He's been everywhere, dude. She's probably like, oh, is he on like Vogue?
Yeah.
I love this, this whole thing. She's like, okay, first I light the tree and then I hit the button. No,
yeah.
wait. She's trying to figure it out, but we get this great exchange between Bruce and Selena.
Yeah, one of my favorite scenes in the movie, dude.
No, it's some of the only scenes that they share. It's one of the only scenes just as Bruce and Selena. They start talking about Vicky Vale and all the things from the first movie. they're I love that she's like, what went wrong? No, let me guess, you kept things from her. He's like, no, I told her everything. He's like, oh, and the truth the truth frightened her. Well, there are two truths. She had trouble reconciling them because I had trouble reconciling them, and blah blah blah. And was Vicky right about your difficulty with duality? He's like, well, if I say yes, you're gonna think I'm one of those Norman Bates, Ted Bundy types, and that I won't be able to kiss you. She's like, oh, it's not the crazy ones I'm afraid of. Those are the ones who are committed. That's a good line.
Sickos never scare me, at least they're committed. I love that they mentioned Norman Bates and Ted Bundy. Like, they reference actual, like, pop culture and, like, actual history.
Right, like fictional and non-fictional characters. Right. I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. But
I love when they make out. Oh, by the way, Colin, like it's been a while,
dude. I thought Spotify started playing Marvin Gaye, and I was like, what the fuck? Not now.
No, I was like, it's been a while since I had the Marvin Gaye, so we had to bring him back. But I do love that, like, they each have to kind of hide their wounds. Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's great, dude. Just the fact that, they could just come out and be like, yeah, I'm Batman. Yeah, I'm Catwoman. And they have that scene later on where they don't just immediately start fighting. They're, like, civil enough to realize what's going on. I was like, that's fucking cool.
You mean the black tie dance that's playing Hammer Time?
Dude, yeah, no. It's playing Super Freak.
Oh,
dude,
that's right. Fuck.
Yeah, fuck Hammer Time. Fuck. You can't touch this. Fuck that. Yeah. But yeah, I love this whole thing. He's like, I got to get down to the plaza. He's practically begging me to show. Here's what I want you to do. He's like, I just want you to tell her, that I like her, blah blah.
This
but
is
I can't.
Great.
Dude, it's tell Selena, tell Miss Kyle, tell her I had to go out of town. He just tell her a big business deal came up. No, you know what? Let her know that I'm not some kind of be my girlfriend kind of way. He's like, I'll relay the message, dude. He's like, fuck off. Hers is even better, where she's like,
make up something.
Yeah, right. I love that. His whole thing, she says that I've been going through a lot of changes, and just that this is not a rejection, that my abruptly leaving. In fact, he makes me feel the way that I hope I really am. But can you just tell him, like, a sonnet or a dirty limerick? One has just sprung to mind.
But I love that. Like Alfred must be so used to this by now from Bruce's end. Like, he must be like a professional at this. Like, must be like Alfred must be like, okay, which fucking excuses am I going to use tonight?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And this is great juxtaposition too. Them getting ready. Like, he's got this whole fortress to use, and she's literally getting ready in like a Ford Pinto.
Dude, let's talk about the dynamic just quickly of Catwoman and Batman. Like, I love these two as characters together whenever they show up in a Batman story. Even in The Dark Knight Rises, like, I love that they're not, like, although they are sort of, they have this like romantic involvement and this kind of like weird pull towards each other, they're still so like, diametrically opposed, and like they have this kind of like, they're not a couple, but they are a couple, and it's so weird, but it's still so awesome. Like, I love Anne Hathaway and Christian Bale in Dark Knight Rises when they're dancing, and she's like, you better batten down the hatches, because when it hits, you're gonna wonder like how you left so little for the rest of us. And I love their dynamic. I've always loved Batman and Catwoman's dynamic. Like, she's always teasing him, but like Batman is always like trying to get her to do right, but he's never able to get her to do right. I love that. I love their dynamic.
Yeah, I think that I always like that too. Like we were saying, it's kind of got this, especially The Dark Knight Rises, when she starts killing people and he's just like, no guns. She's like, oh, you've got to be kidding. It's almost like an older sibling in a way, kind of like, dude, come on, like, don't do that. Like, better than that. Like, you don't have to do that. But yeah, basically,
siblings that fuck.
Yeah. Bruce sees the Ice Princess, and I love that grappling thing, man. It's like, cool. It's like one of the first cool gadgets we see in the movie of him using is that fucking grappling hook.
Oh, dude. Before we get there, the fucking badass suiting up moment. Oh, I love like him getting like you see the 3 different costumes, and like he walks out, and it's just like that badass. Oh, it's fucking awesome, man. Like the sequels, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin take this to a whole nother level. Like those movies start with this sequence with this whole like suiting up sequence, and they take it so ridiculously. I hate those moments in those movies.
Yeah, those are so over the top. Just bleh. I love the fight scene when he shows up for the Ice Princess. Like, he's like, eat floor, high in fiber, and fucking dude. When she grabs him by the horns and fucking knees him in the face, I was like, damn, dude, like that's brutal. And it's the look on Michelle Pfeiffer's face, dude. She's getting that shit, man. Like she's so into this choreography. It looks awesome because she looks so pissed off as she's fucking his face up, dude. It's like that's awesome.
She does. Meanwhile, the fucking the what was it called? The Red Triangle gang.
Yeah.
They're working away on rigging the car, and they have all of the wires on the planet just right on the car right there.
Right. Yeah. For one thing, I want to know how they got these fucking blueprints. Apparently, there's a deleted scene or something that shows this, but like, it's this
they
like
just went down to public records.
Yeah, right. It's this like Coleman Reese in The Dark Knight like kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, is he just like leaking this stuff?
If Coleman Reese isn't dead in the next 30 minutes.
I always wanted to know where that dude is during Dark Knight Rises. I've always wanted to know that. Like, where the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, like there's a guy out there who knows like who's supplying the Batman. It's crazy.
Right, yeah. I hope he's dead, but
I hope he's dead too.
But
Penguin shows up, lawn dart.
Oh, dude, such a great scene with her falling. She ends up still lighting the tree. She lands right on the lighting box and all the fucking bats come flying out. I'm like, holy shit, man, this is so fucking good.
Yeah.
Any of the cops come out, they shoot fucking Batman. I love Commissioner Gordon, just still can't hold your fire. I'm like, dude, for all you know, she's murdered someone. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, we don't get enough Commissioner Gordon in this movie. That is one of my complaints. And like these four movies don't really set Commissioner Gordon up enough, I think. Even the 89 one, like, although it does try, it's not until Oldman, that I really start caring about Commissioner Gordon. And I want to care about Commissioner Gordon more. Like, that's why when J.K. Simmons was cast as Commissioner Gordon, I was like, holy shit, we're going to get a good fucking Commissioner Gordon. Like, a really good one. Like Oldman is awesome, but I don't think we get to kind of like sympathize with him enough.
Oh, I fucking love Oldman, dude. He is. I think he's great just because you actually get to see him, like, he goes out on missions, in the Dark Knight, and he puts himself on the line almost as much as Batman. I'm like, that's fucking cool, man. Like, he risks just as much, if not more, because he's not wearing a mask. You can find out who his family is and shit, and that's kind of what ends up happening. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen The Dark Knight, if you've been living under a rock for the last 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
Dude, I want to say next year will be 80 years of Batman. 1939 Detective Comics was the first appearance. 80 years, dude. Holy shit.
Mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it, but a kiss can be even deadly if you mean it. And she does this hot as lick. I was like, I was all about this.
I kind of am, but I'm like, I'm not I don't mind.
So you're gay. Okay, yeah. That's all right. That's fine. That's all right.
That's
all right.
There's something about like can you not leave the slopper afterwards? Like, can you give me a wipe, like, later on? Like, can you give me something? Because here I am. Because, for one thing, this woman's unhinged. She's not fucking brushing her teeth. She probably smells like cat shit. She's licking my fucking face. Like, come on.
I don't care. It's Michelle Pfeiffer.
He's like, I don't care. Rip that fucking leather off.
Give me that tongue. I don't like these bat wings.
Oh, I love it. I fucking love it.
Do you? Oh, damn it.
It's so goofy. It really is. I get it.
It looks goofy as shit.
But dude, the imagery of him flying over this movie has a lot of far away shots. They do them really well. And especially all these fucking bats flying around, and we see not far off, but kind of in the middle distance, we see Batman just flying over everyone. How terrifying, dude.
Oh yeah. I'd be frightened. I love the shots of him flying over. I don't like when the wings come out for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just jarring because it's like you had that on you the whole time.
That's what I wrote. I'm like, I'm sure you could have gotten out of a few scrapes with this shit.
And I'm not sure if it's supposed to be the cape or if it's something on his back. I just assumed it was the cape. It was something the cape could do. But I'm like, dude, this is just so weird. I don't know. But the imagery of it is badass. Practicality, though, nah, it's just fucking not there.
And it looks stiff as shit. Like, it looks stiff as fuck.
This is where we get the scene with Penguin and Catwoman later. She's like, you were only supposed to scare her. She looked pretty scared to me. I was like, holy shit.
I love that because when you think about Catwoman, she's not like, although she is a villain, she's not as villainous as many of other Batman's like villains, like the Penguin, right? Like this is one of her. I love that this shows that she's she's really sympathetic.
Right. Well, she's always been a thief. She's not a murderer.
Right.
She's not someone just to kill she's not a brute. She doesn't kill. She's always been stealth. She doesn't kill people to get what she wants.
And just quickly while we're here, I was supposed to mention this in my opening thoughts, but because they went fucking for ages already, Batman has the best rogues gallery of all time, right? Like if you think about it, like there is no other superhero that has this many good villains.
No, hell no, dude. There's the only people I could even compare it to that I think even come closer, like the X-Men. I love the X-Men rogue gallery. I think that's such a fucking cool Magneto and Mystique and shit. Like they have just as cool Brotherhood of Mutants as they do X-Men, but still not nearly as cool as Batman. Not even by a mile.
Right. Right. Like you got Joker, you got Bane, you got fucking Scarecrow. Like holy shit, man. You got even Clayface. Like I always love the idea of Clayface, man. Yeah.
This scene between Catwoman and Penguin, I love this. You lousy mix! You lousy mix! You sent out all the signals, and I don't think I like you anymore. I was like, holy
shit. This is fucking him not getting laid.
Yeah, imagine him on Tinder getting shot down and just like showing up to their houses with all these dudes and just murdering them because they shot him down. She said she didn't like ice fishing.
I just read Penguin wants to fuck, but he gets pissed because she rejects him.
Yeah. Nobody wants to see your weird penguin pecker.
Yeah. He attaches her to the flying umbrella and she falls into the greenhouse and becomes Poison Ivy.
That'd be so fucking funny. Wow, that movie really took a turn.
Yeah. I always thought, like when I was younger, I always thought that Michelle Pfeiffer and Uma Thurman looked pretty similar.
Oh, what all white people look alike to you, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like they all resemble. They all look. Oh, you all look alike.
No, that's all right. Thanks, Slumdog Millionaire. But yeah, I love she gets dropped into that greenhouse and just screams and the whole thing shatters. I'm like, that's fucking cool, dude. I love that.
And I love the blonde hair coming out of the mask.
Yeah, battle damage, dude. I just talked about that on like one of the last episodes. I love that look, that battle damaged look. But yeah, and then we see, Batman fleeing the scene, but his Batmobile's been rigged, fucking flying through town, destroying cars and shit. Welcome
to the Oswald Cobblepot School of Driving.
We've got Penguin and one of those
mall fucking things.
Yeah, like a 25-cent car ride outside of Walmart, like one of those things you put on. And I love
I was like, I just wrote that like he destroys a police car and Batman puts in a CD. I guess he just wants to listen to some dope ass tunes.
Yeah, right. He just puts it on. It's just like, dude, come on.
But I also wrote like that. Like they spent some money flipping these cars. Like this is an expensive set piece.
Hell yeah, dude. Like this movie, I think they made it for $80 million, which would be I think around like 140 today, which is still a lot. But I mean, like Martin Scorsese's movie, like the Irishman, was got De Niro and Pacino, dude, is pushing almost like $200 million right now. So like these fucking numbers are just getting higher and higher and higher, and it's crazy. But yeah, I love, as he's flying through the streets, and right before he hits that woman, he finally regains control. I love that yellow lighting on her. That is so fucking Tim Burton, man. That looks so good.
Batman punches his own monitor. I'm like, why?
Oh, dude, did you hear the way he sounds as he's screaming, dude? I'd have just bailed out of the car, dude.
I would have got the fuck out of there, but I mean, like, you're Batman. Like, why are you assaulting your own vehicle?
Yeah, right.
And then like when he comes to the alleyway and he can't do anything and he transforms into that reminded me of the Batpod like in The Dark Knight.
Oh yeah, totally makes sense. Why don't the cops trying to make their way through it? Like, dude, I get it. Like, like the first car doesn't have enough time to stop,
idiots.
But like, maybe don't ride each other. Like, you see what you're going towards. Even if he makes it or doesn't make it, you still have to stop, and you have to stop at some point. Holy shit,
dude! This was the era of like dumbass cops.
What was this? 2018? No, I'm just kidding.
This is the Rodney King time.
Oh god,
that's what this is.
But yeah, we see Cobblepot at another rally for the mayor. This is great. I love this. You know him. There's so much Bat stuff that's braided in this. The little CD player and shit. I'm like, dude, come on, what are you selling these at like a Walgreens or something? Like, is that what you
better than a fucking Bat credit card?
I know, dude. Yeah. Oh my god. Don't get me fucking started. But I love, dude, the look on Selena's face the whole time he's talking and she's in the very back, like, oh, God, even when she's mad, she looks, I'm just like, God, you're fucking so beautiful. But yeah, it's just the hair over the eyes, kind of crazy. Like, I might stab you, but I might kiss you at the same time. I'm like, oh God, that's fucking dangerous. But I love this as he's talking, you know, he's giving this speech and we've got you know, Bruce talking to Alfred and getting ready. I love, you know, he's talking about the
Security.
Batmobile. Yeah. And he's like, you know, we just can't take it to any old Joe's body shop. Security? Who let Vicky Vale into the Batcave? I'm sitting there working. I turn around. There she is. Oh, hi, Vicky. Come on in.
I love that. and I love Batcave, the Batcave door opening via the fish tank ornament. I also really do love this Batcave, dude. In this one, in the 89 one, like in Bale's one, you see it more and more as the movies go. In Dark Knight Rises, it's awesome. But I think I like this fantastical one a little more. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah, it seems more like I like the ones in the Nolan ones, but it's so techy. You know, this one has a lot of tech, but it's like they clash really well together. You know, all of the cave kind of walls and all the tech. I love this, but we see, you know, Bruce interrupting on the thing, you know, with stuff that he's pre-recorded of, like you said, when he put that, you know, that dope ass mixtape of Batman stuff in the car ride. He's been recording him, you know, the whole time. And, you know, I played this city like a heart from hell. Heart from hell. He like spins it.
You should have seen my eyes roll to the back of my eyes when he spun that compact disc like a fucking record. Like,
something just popped into my mind. What if he put the CD on and right when Penguin goes to talk, it's just like, this my shit. He's like, I didn't say that. This shit is bananas. BANANAS. And then just Bruce Wayne like,
so tell me what you want, what you really want.
Oh God. But yeah, you know, I played this stinking city like a heart from hell, you know, all these terrible things that you know, that he's been saying about Gotham, and of course they all just turn on him.
Revealed to be a villain. And this for me is kind of like, I know you have to do this as a superhero film, but this is for me where the movie kind of like takes a bit of a downhill dive. I love the idea of like Cobblepot, you know, misleading the city and like making the city kind of turn against Batman. I love that idea, dude. Like, I love that kind of like, I'm in plain sight, and I've been playing you guys. Been trying to get you guys to eat out of my hand and like be sympathetic to me so I can achieve my own ends. And like, it's that stuff that I really, really love, like the subtlety of it, and this is kind of where it kind of starts taking a nosedive for me.
See, I just think it could have been done better in a scene where, you know, if he'd actually had, I don't know, say Batman shows up, they have a fight, and, you know, Penguin ends up divulging some information, or he grabs someone as like a human shield, and people publicly see him do something, and it's like, dude, like, fuck you. Like, there's something, you know, say he grabs the mayor's baby and, you know, takes it as like a human shield, or like tries to use it as some kind of leverage. Like, I would have rather have seen that than, you know, DJ Batman, you know, behind the booth, like fucking, you know, throwing this random track out. But I do love Danny DeVito actually refused a stunt double for when they start pegging him with the shit. They were like, hey, we want you to use a stunt double because I assume so because, you know, there's like a lot of prosthetics and stuff. There's wrist and all that shit could come flying off. He's getting popped in the face, and he just outright refused it. And I was like, that's fucking cool, man. And it looks great. The shot of him backing up the steps, and you can see how wet his face is with all of this shit. And I love, why is there always someone who brings eggs and tomatoes to a speech? Yeah. that's fucking great, dude.
Can we acknowledge that fucking Penguin opens fire for a very long time and hits nobody?
Yeah, right. I just assumed it's because he's up so high, like he's up on those stairs, and he's just like, if he wanted to kill somebody, he probably could. But yeah, at the same time, I wonder like how is he pulling the trigger with the flipper? Like, how the fuck does that work, dude? Like,
he's got his own custom flipper trigger.
Yeah, he's got like custom hair triggers on it or something.
Like he went to like a gun store and customized his weapon, and like it was like, and now you can add the specialty fucking flipper trigger.
And yeah, after that he runs. I love the way he just runs into the crowd and fucking power bombs that dude and just slams right into him. Runs off, jumps off the bridge, jumps into the river. I would have loved to have seen, you know, because he jumps in the river and he kind of disappears. If they looked up and downstream a little bit, he was just kind of like, like fucking like diving up out of the water and back in or something. Like if you had like a little Free Willy scene with like a kid and he dives over a kid or something.
It's just fucking Danny DeVito with his prosthetics diving, like jumping over him,
just naked, like
I love crack the AC.
Oh yeah,
he gets down here.
The best part, great speech, Oswald. He just fucking decks that guy with the umbrella. He's like, my name is not Oswald, it's Penguin. I'm an animal, cold-blooded. Crank the AC. I'm like, oh, that's so fucking good.
So this is where he kind of like reveals his plan. He's like, he's got the list of all the firstborn sons of Gotham, which obviously changes later, and he wants to kidnap them, carry them into the sewer, and kill them. And I love the big guy. He's like, it's a bit much, and Penguin just fucking blows him away.
Hey, isn't that a little bang? No, it's a lot. I was like, oh, that's fucking good. But yeah, and this, sorry, this whole scene with, you know, afterwards, basically, this is the plan. They're going to go and take the firstborn children, you know, of all the, I guess, kind of like Gotham's, like, 1%, if you want to say. And we get the scene between Bruce and Alfred in the Batcave, and he's like, tonight is that lonesome party hosted by Mr. Shrek. Should we respond in the, you know, positively no? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. Rips it up. And he's like, well, Selena Kyle might be there. And the way Alfred looks at him, he's like, you motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, I love when Alfred's able to get these like cheeky digs in, like that also carries over into Michael Caine's version as well. It's a very Alfred thing, like, you know, although he's a butler, he's very cheeky as well. He's got these kind of moments. Yeah, right.
I like that. The few moments he gets, the few moments they give him, the dialogue is done really well. I like that.
And then we get the amazing fancy black tie event with Super Freak in the background.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Dude, all these people, dude, just like, what are you all wearing? Like, what are you supposed to be? Like, nobody just has like a domino mask on or something simple. One guy has like the Leaning Tower of Pisa on his head, like, or the Leaning Tower of Pisa, whatever you want to call it. Like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, other people have like,
dude, this is like some Eyes Wide Shut sex orgy shit right here. Right.
Yeah. Some person has like a menorah on their head as they're going by. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
He's Jewish as shit. Leave him alone. He's like, everyone's out here celebrating Christmas, and I'm trying to get through Hanukkah.
I love the scene between Bruce and Selena. This is great, especially just the way it's lit from the bottom. It's very like bottom heavy with light. It's got these great shadows. They're the only people there without masks. Did you get that? Did you get it?
Yeah.
Did you get it? But yeah, she says, I had to go home and feed my cat. Sorry, I had to run out. Blah, blah, blah. You know, this is...
By the way, Selena is totally my girl. She's like, she wants to bang on a big, comfy California king.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit.
Oh,
like,
Jesus Christ.
Talk about the direct approach.
She pulls out her hoe gun. Like,
sorry,
the Derringer.
I was just not expecting that hoe gun. It's my hoe gun, not to be confused with my pimp gun.
This is my prostitute gun. She says she tells Bruce she's here to kill Max, and I just wrote, man, this entire sequence is awesome. Like, both of their performances here are fantastic. This might be the standout sequence for me in the movie.
Dude, yeah, it's great, especially the way that Bruce looks at the gun, the way it's so close, close to us. It's like, and he just fucking, he starts flopping like a fish out of water. He's like, oh, dude, put that fucking gun down, dude. Like, holy shit.
And I love, she doesn't know who she is anymore, and like they kiss under the mistletoe, and that's how they find out who they are. Like, it's fantastic, dude. Like, this is an amazing script moment. I love it.
Yeah, I love that. He straight asked her, "Who the hell do you think you are?" I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome, dude. I love that." A kiss under the mistletoe. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
And they don't start throwing punches. I love that. I love her reaction. Does this mean we have to start fighting?
Right. Yeah, dude. That's so fucking good, because and the way he wipes the tear away, she's crying, and they just embrace. It's like there's nothing else to. There's yes, in all other instances you would probably start fighting this person if you were in costume. It's also one of the only people that can relate to what you're doing anymore. Like, it's one of the few people who can understand that. Like, a personal tragedy has befallen you. You want to be proactive. You want to make things right. Like, I think anybody can understand that, but you can't really empathize with it until you're the one going out in black leather getting your ass kicked every night. Like, I fucking love that. Like, they can't be together, but they want to be together so bad.
They understand each other.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And he even says that later on. He says, Selena, we're the same, split down the middle. Like, that's actually one of my favorite scenes, and we'll fucking get to it. But I love that, Penguin shows up, blast that hole through the floor. Fucking, dude, that explosion is fucking awesome, dude. The way it sends everybody flying, I was like, holy shit, man. Like, that dude hits the tree and goes flying off of it. I was like, this is awesome. But especially just the way that they do the shot, it's so far back, and like, people are flying up onto the second story of this building. I was like, holy shit. Like, you just see some dude go flying out into space.
He just keeps going.
Yeah, that just keeps going. And yeah, this is where he starts. I love the shit with Chip, Max's son. And he's saying, I've come for all your firstborn sons. I've come for Chip. And he
You're
just
coming with me, you great white dope.
That's what I was looking for, dude. That's so fucking funny. To die way down in the sewer. Yeah, I was like, holy shit, that's fucking dark, man. Like, I'd love to see, like, Penguin running around and be like, and he just turns a corner and there's Pennywise and he's like, oh god, just like something horrible down there.
Hi, Oswald.
Yeah. Oh god, you want a balloon? But who do you want to really want to see immersed in his eyeballs up to raw sewage, huh? Yeah, okay, you got a point. I'll let the little prince live for now. Fucking pops him in the gut. In the duck. In the duck. That's such,
in the duck.
I fucking love that. That sounds like something else,
I love the in the duck. I love the two penguins just in the back seat.
Yeah, they're like, he tries to pet one, they peck at him. But yeah, they slowly descend down to the Pennywise place. No, I'm just kidding. I just can't help it. Anytime I see Stewards now, it's just automatically Pennywise.
Oh yeah, the sunken place.
Right. But yeah, this is where we kind of get. This is where it's a lot like. A lot of the tropey comic book kind of stuff, him unfolding his master plan, to Shrek and telling him all about it. Talking about basically he's going to take all the kids and dunk them in this water, which has been polluted with some of the shit from Shrek, which is basically he's going to drown all these kids, in like a watery grave. And this train rolling through town, like, I understand a lot of like the first class people are at this big party, but like, where are the fucking cops? Like, this thing is twice the size of the Batmobile. Like, what the fuck? You don't notice this like creepy nightmare Rob Zombie train rolling down the road, snatching up kids in the middle of the night? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
come on, Colin, it's Gotham.
Dude, I would have loved to have seen at least one scene where they try to run out of the police precinct and there's somebody there and they find some way of stopping them. Like, dude, come on. Like, there's not one fucking cop anywhere.
Fine. Yeah. Batman will get him. It's all right.
Commissioner Gordon's at the party, like, snorting a line of coke, and he's like, oh, I can't go out there now. I'm fucked up.
He's like, it's Christmas. Fucking leave it to Batman. We're on holiday.
Yeah, right, exactly. He's like in the bathroom just having some chick eat out his ass, and he's like, oh, I can't deal with this right now.
I'm being rimmed out. Come on.
Oh, fucking, just everybody leave Commissioner Gordon alone. He's trying to get a little rimming. But Batman shows up and breaks up the baby train. And the children regret they're unable to attend Batman. And, the monkey hands Penguin the note. That little monkey was apparently... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, I've got a... Like, when did he print these things? Like, it's got the Batman logo on it. Like, how many copies of it do you have? Did you go down to the print store and, like, print these fucking little letters and with your Batman insignia and be like, hey, this is what I'm going to send to actual villains and, just a little word of warning. Like,
it'd be so funny if he's, like, hand drawing it in the car and there's a woman outside like, these two guys are trying to kill me. He's like, yeah, hold on just a second. Like,
hold the fuck on. I'm trying to print my death note.
Right. She scares him and he fucks it up. He's like, God damn it. And he just drives off and parks somewhere else and starts a new one. But yeah, this is where Oswald's plan changes again. This is kind of where I can see where people start having a problem with this, because now we've gone from I want to find out who my parents are to I want to kill all the firstborn sons in Gotham to I want to blow up the whole city now.
And talking to a stand full of penguins.
Right, yeah.
Strapped to rockets.
Here's my thing. I don't mind you talking to the penguins, but you have to talk penguin to the penguins. Like, if he just went out there and was like... just something like that. What cracks me up is as, he gives the big speech and they all take off and he runs back to his chair and he clicks his heels. I was like, wow, I'm really surprised Danny DeVito, of all people, could do that in that suit. And I was like, holy shit, dude, that must have been kind of fucking hard. Like, I would have eaten shit doing that. I'm fucking 6'4" and not in that suit right now, dude. That would have been tricky for me to do, but I'm also kind of fat. But yeah, this is where where we get the bat boat, if you want to call it that. I think
or some shit,
something like that. I did have this toy. This thing was fucking cool, dude. I loved playing with this thing. It was so fucking cool, and I love these penguins, man, because like it's a mix of animatronics. It's a mix of actors in suits. There's also real life penguins. Stan Winston actually said that they found a real life penguin one day. They were trying to round them all up, and these birds were treated really, really well. They had to be flown in from I think because
the UK. I think.
Yeah. They had to fly him in. It was 100 degrees. They had to keep the set down to 35. So not only did they have all this going on, but these birds were just extremely well, taken care of. But then Stan Winston said he found a small one day, one of the baby ones, cuddled up to a fake, like larger penguin. Like basically had cuddled up to it thinking it was like a parrot or something like that, and had like grouped with it. I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. I wouldn't mind coming upon that one day. Like after looking at Danny DeVito all day, just be like, oh, here's this cute little penguin. Like, oh, that's what these things are supposed to look like. That's cute.
So just a quick thing. So I've heard 3 different podcasts cover this movie. LSG, Hey Do You Remember? And also Kevin Smith covered it back when they were called Fat Man on Batman. They did a commentary. Dude, I can't remember which one it was. I think it might have been Kevin Smith. And sorry to Chris and Dean and Matt if you guys talked about this. But the skiff going through and like he does this spin like over the penguins. And then he does that little look back where it's like, holy fuck, what did I get myself into? Penguins strapped with fucking rockets.
Right, yeah. Well, yeah. I almost took that like as he's flying, he looks back like, huh, I can't believe I just did that. Like he's like, I've never done that before. I thought I was gonna fucking die.
Happened.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of Arkham Knight, because there's a lot of those where you have to hit the boost and ride along the ceiling of things. The shit was always so fucking tricky. But by the way, this 125 penguins you got, not going to blow up the whole city. Not with these bottle rockets strapped to their backs.
Yeah.
I don't understand what you're aiming for, because and they're all in front of Shrek's. She already blew it up. Why are they all in front of Shrek's? I don't understand this. Like, what are they going to aim at? Like, just random shit around the town? Like, maybe you should go for City Hall, the police department, like Hall of Records.
Or the fucking government.
Right, yeah, and instead he's just going on a rampage around town. I'm like, dude, for one thing, if I pop out my front door with a World War II Thompson and just start lighting these penguins up, like, it's not going to take me long to kill these things. Like, A, they don't fly. Like B, they have red and white targets all over their back. Like, like it cracks me up. This plan is just so dubious, dude. I'm like, oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. And that's why it takes a fucking downhill turn for me. Like, I know you have to have a penguin-related plan because it's a penguin, but it's still a bit bullshit. But you know what I love, dude? I love this announcer lady who's so uninterested.
Right, yeah. This shit is so directly affecting her, and she's just like, they've turned around. You know who this is? Natalie
Something's
Portman.
wrong.
This is Natalie Portman as Amidala. And like, dude, oh my God.
Totally. The peace treaty is not gonna...
Dude, and then you watch something like Leon the Professional, or you watch like her in Heat, or Black Swan, and then you see something like Phantom Menace. I'm like, oh my God, like, is that the direction Lucas gave you to play that character? Like, what the fuck? That is sad.
Someone pass me the Xanax.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's so fucking funny. She's like, someone give me more horse tranquilizer. It's like those anti-drug ads, and they're in the late 90s where it's like the girl melting into the couch, and she's just like, oh yeah, I'm not any fun anymore. Now I do ketamine and horse tranquilizers.
She's like, I just fucking went to sleep. Now I have to wake up for this bullshit.
But it's so sad. Sorry, seeing Natalie Portman do that and the Phantom Menace, I'm like, she has a law degree. It's like, and she's out there doing this. I was like, she's one of the smartest actresses out there right now, and she's just like, I am so dead-faced. My Botox injection went horribly wrong.
Dude, like, you have no idea how much that cuts me deep.
Oh, dude,
like,
yeah,
that fucking cuts me. I'm looking at my degree right now, and I'm like, why am I sitting here recording a fucking podcast?
Oh, that's fucking good. But yeah, basically Batman reroutes the penguins. All the penguins wind up coming back to the, I'm just going to call it the Iceberg Lounge. It's not really that. It's basically Iceberg Lounge. Yeah, it might as well be. I think it's like Arctic World or something. It's like, dude, it's Iceberg Lounge.
It's Iceberg Lounge.
Right. This is where everybody kind of starts abandoning ship on Penguin. You know, that woman, I love the announcer woman. She just takes like 2 steps back and it just goes black on her. I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool, dude. I love that shit. But this is right. Basically the Penguin kind of, his Penguin boat turns into like a Land Rover for some reason. Yeah.
And it's full. It sounds like it's got a V12 engine.
Yeah, right. I love that shit, man. That's so fucking funny. One thing I was going to say, I don't know if I ever got to say this, and stop me if I did. Did I tell you this monkey was absolutely terrified of Danny DeVito in the makeup, and it bit him once or twice?
Oh, it bit him? That's hilarious.
Yeah. Dude, and they said it just wouldn't come anywhere near him. Just fucking hated the way that he looked. But yeah, this is where Batman, he fucking winds up cutting it up and cuts off DeVito and his little duck cycle and totally, fucking decapitates the thing. I love that.
Duck cycle?
The duck cycle. Quick to the duckmobile. Quack, quack. But yeah, they kind of have this brawl out. I think this is where DeVito's like, you're just jealous because I'm a natural freak and you have to put on a mask. I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool, man. That's such a fucking good line. And it's great because, dude, I mean, Shrek even says the line earlier, and it's true. He's like, dude, if his parents hadn't 86'd him, you would have been boarding buddies together at prep school. I was like, yeah, dude, these guys are like, they're like 1 degree apart. Yeah. Right. It's totally not it's totally not nature, it's nurture. It's just how these guys like, and that could be argued. You could be argued that, in the earlier scene when we see him and he eats that fucking cat, his parents have good reason to fucking dump him, man. They really do. I hate to say that. It's not something I would advocate. Maybe take him to a child psychologist first or figure something out. But I think that
you hear that, Lindsay? Be very careful with Colin.
No. I got snipped a long time ago. No, I'm just kidding. But you can tell that something is wrong with him right off the bat. So, like, I don't think it mattered if his parents got rid of him. Like, he would have been just a fucking monster, like, regardless, for whatever reason. So I love this system, see, like, the duality in both of them. He says later on to Selena, he's like, we're the same, split down the middle. It's like, I kind of feel like that line applies more to Cobblepot. Like you've got these two people, the relationship with their parents, it winds up directly affecting them, and they develop these alter egos of animals, and they both wear masks, some physically and, some metaphorically, but they're both wearing these masks for their public persona. And whereas he's Penguin and he's trying to be Oswald, we have Bruce Wayne who's trying to be Batman. I love that whole duality. It's fucking great when you really step back and kind of think about it. You're like, wow, there's so many layers to this beautiful onion. And it only smells better as I go farther into it. I think it's fucking so cool. And I wish they'd touched on that a little bit more. It's kind of lacking a little bit. This is really one of the only scenes where we see that of them talking about how similar they are. Like there's not a whole lot of time given to that, but I don't blame them. It's a 2-hour long movie,
Right.
Batman's got the trigger, they kind of tussle for a little while. The shot of his eyes looking over to it is so good, dude. Those beautiful blue peepers that fucking Keaton's got with all that black shit around him, it stands out so well.
Black shit in this scene. We'll get to the scene where there's no black shit.
Yeah, that's fucking, that's glaring.
Actually, we're kind of already there. This is again one of my favorite moments with these three, with Shrek and
I was gonna say first, they wrestle. He gets the trigger away from Batman, fires it, and doesn't realize that all the penguins are armed straight up onto Arctic World, and just fucking blows his ass to Kingdom Come. And that's pretty much the end of Penguin. He's fucking for the most part dead after that.
Yeah, he has a moment where he comes like staggering out and he grabs the wrong umbrella, but yeah, he's pretty much gone.
Yeah, but like you said, this whole scene between them is such a strong way to end this. I love it. Christopher Walken gets the key away from the monkey. Selena, wraps him up around the ankle and drags him in. But dude, how battle damaged she looks is fucking awesome. And we can't go past Walken finding the gun, next to the dead fat clown in the bottom of this penguin pool thing. But God, dude, she looks so fucking awesome. I love this.
She does.
Because, that's Batman, like you said, there's so many different suits. You can just go, oh, this is, what is this, Tuesday? Okay, I gotta get this one. She's got this one thing that's just falling apart, very symbolic of, like, what's going on. Like, Batman has this together. This is what he does every day. He's conditioned to do this. He's used to this, where she's just got this one suit. And I think the suit is also it's kind of symbolic of her, like what's going on. Like this thing is falling apart, like as she falls apart. This is not something that she couldn't just keep going out every single night and being Catwoman. Not in this movie. This is not the Catwoman who goes out to fight crime with Bruce later on and they run off together and get married. And I love it. I love that that's not the way that this story goes. Like, I don't love Anne Hathaway in The Dark Knight Rises. I'm not a huge fan of how that movie ends and their whole thing. But this is just great. It's just literally like symbolic of her just, falling apart at the seams. She can't hold it together anymore. It's so fucking good. But yeah, he can, he can walk in and Batman and Catwoman, they all kind of like confront each other. And I love this. He just asked, why are you doing this? He's like, come, let's just take him to the police and we can go home. Just come home with me, and it's so great, man. When do you see Batman like begging? Like, when do you see Batman doing that? Like, just please come home with me. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's so fucking great.
It's fantastic, man. Like, and this is, again, speaking speaking to what I was talking about earlier, like the dynamic between Catwoman and Batman, like this need for Batman to try and get Catwoman onto the right path. I love that shit.
Right, yeah, exactly. It's a very like mentor kind of thing in a way, and I think it's so fucking cool. But Jesus Christ, it's so. It would have been so fucking cool to see Michael Keaton rip the mask off and the black shit is still on his eyes or even smeared. Like I said, battle damage, like it's starting to come off or it's smeared or, like something going on. But dude, it's so glaring when you cut back.
It's so lazy. It's so lazy, dude. Like, it's like you don't need that shot of him. Like, you don't need that shot, that like 3 seconds of him like looking down and then ripping it off. You don't need that.
Right.
You can shoot it from the back.
Right. Or you could have showed him just like, he goes to get a
hand
grip.
Already on.
Right. Or he just kneels down to where we don't see his eyes. I was like, God damn, dude. Like, it's just so jarring, man. But it's so, when have you ever seen Batman do this in another movie where he just takes the mask off in front of someone and just shatters that whole personality, that whole persona that he's developed, like in front of someone who doesn't know that he's Batman and just takes it off and shows him. I was like, dude, like it kind of got me. Like, it reminds me of Spider-Man 2, where at the end Mary Jane finally figures out that Peter is Spider-Man. I was like, oh, that's fucking awesome, dude. Or when James Franco pulls his mask off in the study, I was just like, oh shit, dude. Like, because we're so conditioned to, right before the mask gets pulled off, something happens. We actually see this in the first Batman movie when they have him on the ground, like it's some kind of body armor, and they fucking go to pull his mask off, and Vicky Vale starts taking pictures, and it distracts all of them. I was totally expecting something like that in this scene, but it was like, no, nothing stopped him. He just ripped right off. I fucking love it, man. And because it's like the ultimate sacrifice of just like my identity of everything. This is who I am. I'm not Batman. I'm not Batman asking you to come home. I want you to come home. Selena, please, let's just go home. And I love this, Bruce. I would love to live with you in your castle, in your little fairy tale world, forever. But I just don't think I could live with myself. I'm like, oh, that's fucking awesome, dude. Like,
awesome, dude.
She's too far gone. She just can't, man. She just like, I just don't think she can move past that. Like, could you imagine like what their relationship would be like and the kids that they would have and shit? Like, holy fuck, man. Like, this would never work. I just never would. As perfect as they are, the reason why they are so perfect is what pushes them apart. It's like, dude, I have these problems. Like, these things that we find relatable are also self-destructive. And there's going to be nights where, I have to go out and I have to do this, it's fucking great. I just think that's what brings them together, is what pushes them apart at the same time. And I never really realized that until a couple of viewings, like as an adult. I was like, wow, that's so fucking cool. You would think the stuff that brings you together would bring, it's not like, oh, hey, you like this band, or, oh, hey, you like this movie. It's like, no, I'm a self-destructive person who has crippling personal issues, and I cope with those by dressing up as an animal and fighting crime and causing chaos and stuff. And it's like, oh, well, no, okay. Like, that's not something you can get over together if you're both doing it, But I love Bruce Wayne. Why are you dressed like Batman?
Love that. I love that. He's because he is Batman.
Oh, dude. Walk into, Woods and fucking pops a shot at him, starts unloading into
7
Selena.
lives.
Right.
Yeah.
And basically, Selena gives him the old French tickler electric kiss. And,
dude.
Brutal, man. Brutal.
I love when like Batman's like digging him out and you get that shot of Max all fucking burnt to a crisp.
Oh yeah, he looks like the Crypt Creeper. You're like, what the fuck? Like, he's so terrifying looking. Penguin also kind of reemerges, just kind of for a final encore, which is great. I did like this because you could just drop him in the water and say that he's dead, but you got to see a body. You got to have some kind of closure with him.
And DeVito's performance here is fantastic as well.
Right. God, yeah, Shrek is fucking terrifying. I just saw that. The scene popped up and I was kind of like, I just need a cold glass of water. I'm like, oh, dude. And like, the way he's bleeding, if you notice when he falls, he doesn't fall like that kind of fall. I'm not saying it's necessarily going to kill you like that, but he falls so close to the cement. He must have just smashed into that cement on the way down. I'm like, oh, dude, that's gotta fucking hurt, man. Reaches for one last umbrella, and I love the shot of Keaton turning around as he draws it, and he's just got that quick, and the camera pulls in on him. He's like, oh, shit, I picked a cute one.
Totally.
The heat's getting to me. I'll murder you momentarily.
I love that line, I'll murder you momentarily.
And dude, the way he eats shit and just falls right into that concrete, like, holy fuck. We get the cutest little polar bears I've ever seen in my life. These have got to be like little people in suits, right? There's no fucking way these are like animatronic and shit. Yeah,
it's gonna be. But again, Stan Winston.
Yeah, fucking Stan Winston. God, legend. I almost feel bad for Penguin at this point. You know, it's like, dude, I understand he's a monster and he's murdered people and stuff, but there's something so sad about him at the same time, dude. It really is. I don't know what it is. And you would think I would have that kind of sympathy for Catwoman and be drawn way more towards that, but there's something about Penguin, like, dude, part of me does think, yeah, he would have grown up and he would have been a monster and a piece of shit and probably murdered people anyways, but like, he never even had a chance, like, not one fucking chance, dude, like, never. From the get-go, he was fucked, and that's just...
He was born to be a villain, dude.
Right, yeah, and like, your heart breaks for those people, man. It's like, how can I blame you? I can't even hold that against you. You're just born this way. Like, God, that fucking sucks. But yeah, you know, we kind of get this little epilogue with Bruce driving around and Alfred driving Bruce around because, you know, yeah, sure, Alfred's an 80-year-old man. Maybe he could take a fucking day off. Fuck. Yeah,
he tries to leave in fucking Dark Knight Rises, and I'm like, good for you, Alfred. You need a vacation, dude.
Right, hell yeah, dude. Bruce picks up the cat. He thinks he sees the shadow of Michelle Pfeiffer. I love this, just the snow pouring down on him. You know, they get into the car. I love that car, by the way. Holy shit, that is so fucking cool looking.
Yeah.
I heard that this scene was added way later on, like less than a month before the film dropped. They filmed this scene of her like looking up, you know, towards the sky and giving some kind of indication that she may still be alive, just because I think with test audiences, it just didn't go over very well because you know, it's left kind of directly, ambiguous. We don't really know if she's alive. We don't really know if she's dead. All we see are, you know, Penguin and Shrek, and those are the only bodies that we find. But you know, I don't mind it. I actually think it's kind of cool. It's just it's just a good shot, you know, of the bat symbol coming on and her kind of rising up, because that's not Michelle Pfeiffer. That's totally somebody else. But yeah, that's fucking Batman Returns, dude.
Fucking Batman Returns, man. That's it. Jesus.
Yeah.
It took us 8 hours.
Yeah. I was about to say fucking 5 hours later.
No, but man, this was a fun fucking episode. Thanks so much for choosing this. And look, you are right, man, because Batman 89 and The Dark Knight is way too daunting to do right now. And look, it's Christmas right now, so honestly, this is not a conventional Christmas film. Like, it's very rare that, you know, I'm actually surprised when you said this, like, you're like, Batman Returns, and I'm like, holy shit, that is a Christmas film. Like, I had to think back and remember, holy shit, this was set at Christmas time.
Right, yeah. Because it just matches up so well. The gothicness of it, the snow. The only thing that would have made this movie better is if maybe we even took Shrek out and we added Mr. Freeze. I'm like, dude, Mr. Freeze and a penguin combo is like a match made in heaven. Like that would be perfect for both of them. Maybe on the surface, like maybe not character wise once you got into it. But yeah, I'm just gonna give my closing thoughts. I love this movie. I've talked about this thing for way too long. No, I had a blast. I'm very nostalgic for this movie. This is personally my favorite Batman movie. I still think The Dark Knight is, you know, probably the best one that we've gotten so far, that we may ever fucking get. But I'm hopeful to see if anything will ever top that. I really doubt it, though. But just the cat, DeVito, Pfeiffer, Keaton, Walken, like, dude, it's so hard to top that you've got Tim Burton behind the camera and Stan Winston doing the special effects. And also, you've got a screenwriter for the film Heathers with Winona Ryder and Christian Slater.
Awesome.
Right. So you've got a lot of shit behind this. And I can see why people don't like this movie, but you got to give it a chance. And it's Batman and it's crazy. And there's it steers very hard left away from what a lot of people's preconceived notions of Batman were at the time, the comic book and the Adam West TV show. So I can see why people didn't really love it. But I honestly, it's personally my favorite for nostalgia reasons, and I'm glad that we covered it. And I someday we'll get to the other ones, but this is a good starting point. This is definitely a good starting point for this. What are your final thoughts?
I think you totally hit the nail on the head, man. Like, this is a great, it's fun. It's a fun fucking film, man. Like, this is a great Tim Burton film, and it's so Tim Burton. Like, this is such a Tim Burton film. Like, Michael Keaton is awesome. Michelle Pfeiffer is fantastic. Danny DeVito might be the standout for me. I know you like Michelle Pfeiffer a little bit better. But honestly, for me, it's like a little bit, like, it's like a hair under Danny DeVito. I think Danny DeVito is just having so much fun with this role, and you can tell when an actor's having so much fun with a role, and it just shines through. But this is definitely a great Batman film. It's just, I think it's overshadowed a bit too much by its villains a little. A little more Batman would have been great, but like I said, man, I'm not above a superhero movie that's based solely on villains. I love that shit. In terms of ranking, and you can do this as well. I think The Dark Knight's obviously my favorite movie, my favorite one. It actually is close to my favorite movie of all time. It was for a very long time my favorite movie of all time. But I think that's number one. Number two has to be Batman 89. Number three, The Dark Knight. Oh, sorry, Batman Begins. Number four, Dark Knight Rises. Number five is probably this. Number six is Batman Forever. Number seven is Batman and Robin. And I'm not counting Justice League or Dawn of Justice because they're not Batman films. But yeah, I mean, like, look, when I say number five, like, that makes it sound terrible, but it's not. It really isn't, because, like, there is a massive gap between this and Batman Forever. Like, there is a massive gap. Like, those two movies, Joel Schumacher, he apologized for, I think it was Batman and Robin. And when a director apologizes, like, that's fucking next level. But yeah, man, I do love this movie. I'll definitely check it again out. I'll check it out again soon. Really glad to have covered this. This was a blast to cover, dude, for sure.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if I had to rank them, I'm gonna say this. Then probably followed by The Dark Knight. I have a sweet spot for The Dark Knight Rises. Honestly, I like it. It's not better than Batman Begins, but I like it more than Batman Begins. So I'm going to say, like, Batman Returns, Dark Knight Rises, probably then Batman Begins, then, well, no, because, I mean, Batman 89 is going to go in there before Batman Begins or Dark Knight Rises. And then after that, we've got Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. But also, I don't want to discount any of the animated stuff.
Right.
Batman Under the Red Hood, Batman, Bad Blood, Robin versus Batman, Son of Batman.
Phantasm.
Right, yeah, Mask of Phantasm. Really, The Dark Knight Returns, though, the animated one, they got fucking RoboCop to be Bruce Wayne. They got they got Peter Weller. Dude, and it's fucking great. It's so well done. That's personally another one of my favorites, but as far as, like, live action goes, yeah, I'm going to say it's probably, like, Batman Returns, Dark Knight, then Batman 89, then we'll go Dark Knight Rises, Batman Begins, then Forever, and Batman and Robin.
Nice.
Yeah, Batman and Robin's always the bottom bitch.
Oh, dude, that's gonna be like, same with Returns and Forever, like, that massive gap. There's, like, Forever, and then there's Batman and Robin for me. It's, like, way down the bottom.
Yeah. Listener comments, though, we had one on Instagram from Danae Stark 477. This is the best best Batman film to date. It's dark and disturbing, and Catwoman is spot on, and no one has been able to do better than Michelle Pfeiffer. The dialogue, story, character arcs are all on point. After this came the campy kids Batman films. After this came the campy kid Batman films, and although I enjoy them, Batman Returns will always be a perfect Christmas movie. Sorry, I butchered that. My eyes couldn't stop reading. Yeah, that's, dude, I mean, fucking, to quote you, nail on the head. That's exactly why I picked it. It's just the dialogue. It's very quippy. It's very cynical. It's snarky. I like it. Without being too look down the brim of its nose at you. But I mean, that's pretty much all I got. I'm fucking tapped, man. I mean, like, it's our first Batman movie. I'm excited to have it covered. I'm looking forward to doing some more of them. God knows if we're gonna, God knows when we're gonna do the Dark Knight, because that is a fucking mammoth one. That's probably gonna end up being like a 4-part episode, because we're gonna be fighting over the microphone. But yeah, I mean, unless you got anything else to say, do you want to jump off here, man?
No, man. I'm fucking tapped. I'm all Batmaned out.
Well, like I said, you guys know where to find us on social media. Please stop by, rate and review us on iTunes. If you got any comments, suggestions, maybe something you guys would want to see us cover, you can email us midnightdoublefeature@gmail.com. And until next time, we will catch you guys later.